am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club. Something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club. I am happy on this island. Wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave. I'm in a tropic club. Something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club. to 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club. Something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club. am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club. I remember the ocean, memories die out too hard. But we were traveling the mountains just to find the loudest seas. We set down by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club. traveling the mountains just to find the loudest seas. We sat down by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees. 'Cause I am happy on this island. Wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave. I'm in a tropic club. I remember the ocean memories die out too hard. But we were traveling the mountains just to find the loudest seas. We set down by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club.
Hey, hello, howdy, guys. Konbanwa. That's called good evening in Japanese. We are back with the quarterfinals. Day 2. You all are watching the Battleknights Project India Season 1. And yes, it is brought to you by Battleknights Esports in collaboration with Mobile Saints and managed by Mayura Esports. And of course, our amazing streamer. We're going to give him a shout out as well. That's BT Batanka, the legend. And talking about legend, guys, we have one of the most legendary casters who's been pretty active in the community for such a long time, running an amazing page, managing everything. We've got on board Missy Jenny. How are you doing?
Wow, your introduction made me more excited, I'm doing really good. And yeah, what are your hopes with these teams, Goal of Tokyo, SHOMONATION? Well, the names, the names are giving me high hopes, but I'm scared to get disappointed.
I don't think so. We're going to be disappointed at this stage of the tournament when it's the quarterfinals. Yes, of course, we do see some matches going 2-0. Just like yesterday, we saw both the teams winning in style, ABM as well as Black Magic. Now, both of them won their matches in 2-0 fashion, but still, we were extremely entertained by the matchup. It could have gone either ways. So, I would say the skill level at this stage, it's absolutely amazing, top notch. Going to come down to those minor adjustments in the draft as well as in the gameplay. For now, Jenny, we've got the Ghoul of Tokyo on the blue, SHOMONATION on the red, and since it's a best of 3, do you think blue side is better or is it red side who has the advantage?
I have no idea right now because only once I start looking at the draft, the way they're banning and picking, I think I'll come to know.
That is true. That is obviously true. Now, again, we're going to just wait for a few more seconds till all the players are ready up, and we're going to jump into the drafting phase as well. Now, we've seen both of these teams, showing a lot of flexibility in the draft. We've seen them, bringing out some new metas, even going with their own comfort picks as well. But talking about meta, we know that currently it's kind of changing and also stands still at a point wherein teams can go with some tank jungles while also they can prioritize the assassin jungle. So, in your opinion, I mean, I love to see the assassin jungles, but do you think tank jungle is also pretty solid, or is it annoying?
Very solid as well as annoying. Assassin jungle is good, but but if your opponents are really really smart and they can dodge that early game damage that an assassin can give, and they have a tank or a tanky fighter as their jungle, in the mid to late game they come with this advantage of a tankier team with a heavy front line, and their marksman gets the advantage of positioning himself better. So, and marksmen are actually really good at countering assassins in the late game. So I would still prefer a tankier or a tank or a fighter jungler at this meta.
Again, and that seems to be the strategy a lot of these teams are going with. They're, still sticking to the same tank jungle meta, wherein they want to pick up the Fredrin into the jungle, or maybe just go with a Martis with a tank build. Even Alpha with a couple of damage items, combine it with 3 sustain items, is pretty solid. Tanks a lot of damage and also deals the same amount. Now, again, I know, guys, you've been waiting for a long time now, but we will be jumping into the draft real quick within the next few seconds. So you might want to stay tuned to your seats. You want to hit that like button, click on the subscribe as well, and hit that bell notification so that you do not miss any upcoming video and any upcoming tournament or any kind of updates with that. And with updates, we're going to directly jump forward into the game. And again, it has been a delight to watch these tournament and these teams play. And now we're going to be delighted yet again with a great meal. In terms of the first man, we're going to see Alice coming in. It's Vitality on the blue side, or also known as SHOMONATION in this tournament.
Your team is banned.
Okay, I myself actually ban Alice when I'm ranking these days because she's so tanky and she's got a card control, and once she gets all her items, it's just so hard to kill her. You need a really good marksman like a carry to get rid of her, right? So yeah, Alice in the EXP lane can hurt, so it's a good option to get 1 EXP out of the options.
That is true. Coming in, we see the Aldous, we also see the Martis.
Is banning.
I was not expecting, honestly, because yes, it's been rebuilt a little bit.
Run deep.
On the hits on those cannon minions, kind of pushing him again towards that EXP or even possibly the gold lane. Now, since we know that you can kind of go in for a double fighter setup onto those side lanes, we've seen that kind of meta in the NA. Now, not quite sure if we still love to adapt towards that, but nonetheless, we're going to stick with the same thing. Ling being banned out, Kadita as well as Terizla, Uranus being picked up. A pretty solid first pick, Jenny.
Uranus, wow, I love the pick, but carry is still open, and I think Uranus can be countered, right? I think they could have gone for better first picks, like a mage, like a Novaria or a Xavier, or even Changi is good these days. But Uranus is really, really good, but I don't think it's good when carry is open unless you're very, very confident that you're not going to be bothered by that carry.
Again, that is correct. And since you mentioned about the Change being picked up, we know that I remember a match I casted that was ABM who faced against a Change, and she did so well in defending those lanes. It was, I believe, a pretty solid long match that went to 3 or probably 4 lords, wherein somehow ABM with the Esmeralda jungle were able to win out in those trades and win out the game. But again, that was a different game. This one is different. Both the teams are different. And you were talking about Novaria. We've got a Novaria picked up by Kevin Ater. Even though his favorite Xavier was open, he's still sticking to the one who is pretty solid in this meta. Do you think an Eve can be picked up to counter that?
Definitely. Eve will be good, but okay, they are going for Sicilian. I was still hoping for a Changi because she's got the range, and she's, like you said, she's really good at defending. When you don't have anything else, a Changi can just take away the Lord very easily, like when it comes to defending. Also, they have already picked a Minotaur, so there is no Lolita to actually counter her as well.
Thorns remain should petals fall.
Your team is banning.
Okay, Scarlet, are you back? I think you left for a while.
Yeah, I'm back again. Just a few disconnects happening here and there. I mean, I guess I have to improve my internet, but again, I am always back in time to watch the matches between these teams. As I was talking about the Eve being picked up, but it's the Sicilian that seems to be the answer by Yannet. I am not quite sure about that pick. Yes, pretty solid for that mid to late game, but that would just mean that they're giving entire mid control to the side of SHOMONATION.
Team is banning.
Exactly. They also got that carry, and that carry is also gonna take some time to farm up. So Sicilian, okay, but they will have to be very careful about their early to mid, at least until that Sicilian is ready to slay.
That is true. But again, looking forward, bans, Lancelot, Hayabusa. That's Xbox. That's a total of 3 junglers being banned out, and then it's Claude. I think so. A decent ban coming in from them. Taking away the Lancelot is something that I feel quite questionable since they already have Leo. I think so. He is a pretty solid counter for a Lancelot either ways, but maybe they just want a little more room to work with. Provide a little more leeway to Khufra to not just focus on one of their assassins, but also other people, maybe the Uranus, maybe also their gold laner, or even try and catch Kevin Ater if possible with that Tyrant's Revenge. However, the answer for the jungle seems to be coming in the form of a Granger. So that's a double marksman strategy. And Jenny, you were worried about the early game. We are seeing the Granger for that early game, and we know he is pretty solid on that.
Yep. A lot of teams are actually using this strategy of this double marksman lineup, even in rank. But I would still go with this draft. But then I just doubt that Carry will be melting that Minotaur and Uranus.
It is possible. It is highly possible because Carry is pretty solid with that damage, especially that true damage that comes in. Minotaur and Uranus will have a lot of problem, and again, picking up yet another tank as a jungler would not have been an ideal situation. So Xion gonna go with the Bane, and I feel that is a very good answer coming in. Looking at how the engaging comp of School of Tokyo is gonna work, that's the Khufra as well as the Granger and Esmeralda who would jump into the back line. So they want to play just it front to back, making sure that Kevin Ater survives, making sure that Millie survives, and their whole idea would probably shift around this mid-game snowballing that would revolve around Xion as well as Millie.
When you just look at the lineups, both teams have a really good lineup. But then when you look at the counter-wise, the POV, you know what I mean, right? At that point, I feel like the red team has a better chance because they have the early game, they have the Granger for that, and then Carry is gonna take care of that Minotaur and as well as Uranus. So I don't know. I think it's balanced. What do you think?
It is balanced out, yes. But there's one problem we might have to face. It might actually go on for a rehost. But don't worry, guys. It will not take a lot of time. We will rehost the match and we'll continue it forward. But in the meantime, I would continue casting as we have enough time to talk about this draft. And yes, as you've seen, it is kind of pretty balanced. But I personally feel that if SHOMONATION gets that early snowball, if they're able to get those first couple of turtles and they're able to get Melly that extra gold from that shield, I think so. They would kind of snowball out of control unless Leo is able to hit them with some amazing Tyrant's Rage and Revenge's combination.
Exactly. That's what they pick a Kufra for, right? He's like perfect engages. I think he's one of those tanks who can give you who can engage really easily because of the first skill. And but then they have this Minotaur, I've noticed like personally when I'm playing Kufra against a Minotaur, it's hard. Like he has his ultimate always ready.
True. I mean, that's one of the reason why you kind of have trouble. Every time you're just ready to hit with the Tyrant's Rage and Revenge, you are going to be faced with that, burst coming in from Mino in form of Mino and Fury, wherein you would be knocked up at the third time. And again, guys, please do not worry. It's just a rehost. We'll be jumping into the match as well as the draft real quick. And in the meantime, we'll continue talking. As you mentioned, it is difficult to play Kufra against a Mino, but the same can be said if in case you're able to land in your jumps using a Kufra with those Tyrant's Revenge, you are able to knock Minotaur up and you can get that setup in way too quickly. You would be quickly able to get your team into a position that would give them an advantage. So I personally feel like that is a pretty solid strategy as well. That maybe, the best way to go towards the backside of a line is to delete its front line first. And carry can definitely do that.
Yep. Definitely agreed. That depends. That depends on how good of a Kufra Leo is, right? So we'll have to see. But meanwhile, about this rehost, are they gonna pick the same heroes or it's just a spell?
Absolutely no idea. We would just have to see, because if in case they're picking same heroes, then there was no point of rehosting it at all. So maybe we're gonna see some changes in the draft, some adaptation in the game, something different. But again, that totally depends on what the situation turns out to be, since as of now, all we know that the teams are getting ready to rumble. And again, bringing the attention back to the same point wherein it is a best of three. So whenever it's a best of one, you go with the solid lineup, you go in for a couple of adjustments, and you're done. You would be able to get the win in the game as long as you do not mess up your micros. But when it comes to a best of three, you know that game number 1 and 2 are extremely important, especially for the team who might actually lose game 1, because in game 2, you are under pressure. You also have to go in for those adjustments in the play that your opponents brought in front of you. And after that, you would also have to expect them to play a little more differently than game 1. So it's a lot of hassle come back in a best of 3 match. But on the contrary, also have a chance to counter strategize against your opponent, Jenny. So I really think that that counter strategizing would actually help them out a lot. So again, at the end of the day, it all comes down to the same fact that you need to go in for those small adjustments. And once you are able to master them, you would be able to turn those scenarios which are probably unfavorable to you into a massively favoring situation. So that's one thing that I feel you could utilize whenever you're having that second pick. You know what your opponent went with in the game number 1. You would have a massive chance to counter strat against it and probably snowball in that game number 2, or maybe carry it to the late game so that you have a very smooth sailing. What do you think, Jenny? Maybe Jenny does not want to answer my questions. No wonder why I'm so low. We're not gonna have the depressing talks right here, guys, as the teams are getting ready. Now it's SHOMONATION against GHOUL of Tokyo. Both the teams having a pretty solid run of their own. I still remember GHOUL of Tokyo had that anime matchup wherein they were against Upper Moon Demons, and that was a pretty solid match in itself. They were able to somehow come out on top in that game, showing a very solid performance. The team coordination was amazing, and same goes for SHOMONATION. I don't think so they've had any kind of trouble during this entire tournament. But still, it also seems to be the case that now their main test will begin, because at the end of the day, it always comes down to those playoffs. Those are the most important matches. Those are the matches in which you actually have to show your true potential. And that is a potential we know Shomo Nation has, even GHOUL of Tokyo. But we'll have to wait and see if it's going to be GHOUL of Tokyo, the underdog, to win out this match, or will it be Shomo Nation, one of the fan favorite, to get the win, because everyone wants to see the matchup of ABM and Shomo Nation. I know all of you out there are waiting for that, but nonetheless, GHOUL of Tokyos are also here to a point, and that point is going to be the victory in this best of three quarterfinals. Now, again, we've been talking a lot about this one, but I also want to point out the attention towards the second game that we will have. It's going to be between Team Cry, and they will be taking on Team RYZEN. Now, that match in itself is also a very solid matchup, because Team RYZEN, just before the round of 16, they were showing a gameplay, a game style that a lot of people out there would question and would think, how are they actually winning out with us along the EXP lane? But nonetheless, they have always made it work. No matter what the situation is, they always come out on top in those games. And again, they've been surprising us time and time again. And I would not be surprised at this point if they again brings out a Zilong in the EXP lane and they win out with that side lane push, because they focus on that lane pushing, right? It's more or less like a banana split that the Onyx team does, but just in their own play style, they add a pinch of their own salt in it, their own spices in it. So kind of change it a little bit, and it somehow ends up being in their favor. So that is one of the things that I would be looking forward to, even in the game number 2. That's between both of these teams. But for this match 1, again, Shomo Nation as well as GHOUL of Tokyo, pretty solid team. It's going to be an extremely fun match between both of them, and I am expecting it to go all the way to game 3. In my personal opinion, as I would like to put my bets, I think so Shomo Nation would be the one who will gain match number 1, but in the second, we would see Tokyo adjusting. The ghouls can never be stopped, and they would be waiting for that night to fall in order to cast that dark shadow onto their opponent. So I am expecting them to somehow get the gist of what Shomo Nation's playstyle is in game 1 and then come back in game number 2. And in game 3, could go either ways, totally depending on which team's adjustment has been better, which team's draft has been better. And boy, oh boy, these teams have been so solid in their drafting phase. They know what they need to do, they know the picks they need to have, and they're just so very ready with all of their heroes. And I think so it's basically the battle between the IGLs at the end of the day, because they would have to tell the points. They would have to mention the scenarios to their own teammates, and they would have to mention the rotations that would be coming in. Those callouts are going to be important. So it's basically a battle between two of the great IGLs. And again, guys, I know it's been taking a little while, but either ways, good things come to those who wait around. And patience is always the key. So just a little more patience. We're getting all the teams ready up, making sure there is absolutely no problem in the connection, setting everything up, and we will be back in action very soon. After all, it is one of the most anticipated matches for the people out there who have been waiting to see these matches. And the winner will go to the semi-finals. And that is something you would not want to miss, right? It's going to be the third semi-finalist who we will find out after this best of 3 matchup. We already had 2. One is Kala Jadu, and the second one ABM. So the third one would be either Shomo Nation or GHOUL of Tokyo. We would have to wait and see which one of them will actually get that win. Whose fans will be going home happy, and whose fans will be a little bit disappointed or maybe sad, disheartened. But nonetheless, it's going to be an amazing matchup. It's going to be a delight to all the viewers who are just here to enjoy the matches, who are just here to have fun, spend time with their families and friends out there, watching your favorite players play. Because we all love that. We all love to see that. We've been seeing Battleknight tournaments going in for so long now. And it's been an amazing journey. I haven't been personally a part of the entirety of the journey, but there have been a lot of people who've been working hard. Everyone in the management just doing every single thing that they can. The streamers, the people who are managing. And again, shout out to all the people. Shout out to Mayura Esports who've been doing an absolutely bonkers job in managing the tournament. Matches off stream, on stream, it takes a lot of toll onto everyone, not just the players. Because if you think about the players, yes, a best of 3 matchup will definitely drain them out. Thinking that they have been going in for a long time playing this match since probably the morning or even the afternoon, it is very draining for them to play a competitive match as well, because it takes a lot of brain power. Now think about that, and put it into perspective that as an organization who's been managing a tournament for so very long, that every single person of them has been trained out, but again they're just as excited and energetic on the next day to make more matches happen, to make all the viewers out there happy. And that is exactly what is being achieved by them. And again, I would like to thank a lot to Mobile Saints as well, the NA group, who've been supporting us and who've been showing their support in various ways. Thank you so very much for that. And officials have also been a part of this. I would like to raise my gratitude towards their side. And I know, I've been blabbering for a long time now, guys, but it's just a little bit more time. And I can bet that you will be treated with a delight. You will be treated with the best meal, one of the best matches that you possibly would have seen. I am expecting a few matches to probably go early as well, maybe just a few lasting for around 10, 11 minutes. But I'm also expecting one of those matches to at least go for around 25 to 30 minutes, maybe highly possible, because it's just the skill of both of these teams they'll be depicting in the battle arena, showing that they're just absolutely on top. And even I'm on top of my casting game, just saying everything here and then. Now, again, since the draft that we saw, it is highly possible that it's going to remain absolutely the same. I would also want to point out the matchup that was around the gold lane, that was between the Brody as well as the carry. Whenever we are talking about the gold lane matchup, yes, we know carry is a late game monster, late game beast. She is absolutely outstanding whenever it comes to melting down those tanky heroes. But one thing that I can say for Brody is, if you get this snowball right, if he makes sure he gets his blade of heptasis first, he would be able to snowball out of control. He would definitely be able to just control the pace of the map as long as it's been provided the support. So I feel that SHOMONATION would probably want to make sure that Melly is not facing any problem in his gold lane. And he's winning that matchup, especially against the carry. Now, carry can stall out those waves really, really well. Can definitely throw out that light wheel to slow down the waves, slow down the push towards that tower, but would not be able to do anything when there's Foreman ganking in that lane. So I really think that Minotaur would do an amazing job at that, because most people use Minotaur as an engaging tool, but we've known SHOMONATION and they can also use Minotaur as a disengage tool. Whenever, just like Jenny mentioned, the Kufra would be jumping in, you always have the Minoan Fury ready. So if Kufra misses the jump on Minotaur even by an inch, Minotaur would have a great possible chance to just put that Minoan Fury in to make sure that all the people who are diving in are stopped in their tracks. So anyone who's already dived in is just knocked up into the air. And those knockups are the ones who are extremely problematic. And you always know that once you get hit by the skill 1 of Mino, as a marksman, your attack speed will be reduced. That is one thing not a lot of people focus on, but it is also an extremely important kit that Mino carries. And once you're able to utilize that to perfection, you are also able to get the best potential out of that hero. And again, I've just got the confirmation that the picks are going to remain exactly the same. So yes, we're gonna have the same draft. We will be jumping into the match real quick. Everyone is ready. Just a few more seconds. You can basically count it out to 50. In the comment section, you can type out who do you think will win this match and by what margin. That is the question I would want to ask to all of you in the comment section. Type it down. Will it be GHOUL of Tokyo? Will it be SHOMONATION? One team's journey is going to end now, but the other one is going to carry their legacy forward. So it could be a prelude for GHOUL of Tokyo, for probably even a greater glory if they reach the finals as well. But it could also be a great milestone for SHOMONATION to reach that semis, putting their name in the top 4 teams of the nation. So you definitely want to achieve that feat. And everyone who's been participating in this tournament have wanted to reach that finals, have tried to reach that finals. Some ambition have been broken, but for the others, those ambitions have been carried forward. And everyone just been doing amazing. Now, again, I've got the confirmation. Everything is ready, guys. We will be jumping into the game. This is going to be the best of three matchup. Ghoul of Tokyo on the blue side. SHOMONATION on the red side. Quarterfinals, match number 3, day 2. We are live in action, guys. Let's jump into the drafting phase. And Jenny, I seriously hope you're back.
I've been here the whole time. I've been listening to you. I was just asking my viewers to come and join the tournament in Facebook page, Battleknights Esports, and have more fun with us there. So I'm so sorry I had to let you speak alone.
My kiss grants you immortality.
It's absolutely fine. I know that you're also having some troubles regarding your Wi-Fi. Now these Wi-Fi thingy, man, they're just so annoying. Especially where you come from, we know that the weather affects your Wi-Fi a lot, right? So don't you face any problems during your streams as well?
Still swords run deep.
Sorry, scared
Only
it.
have Wi-Fi issue. No. All right.
I'm gonna ask you to have to repeat. Oh wait, I'm listening to you. I'm talking. Can you hear me?
Yes, of course, I can hear you. So I was asking you, do you face a lot of Wi-Fi issues during your streams as well?
The night sky.
I do, but luckily not during the streams a lot these days because I stream in the daytime. So at that time, it's not very bad. Only when it's the evening, it goes under maintenance again and again. I don't know why. So, yeah.
Only love
Your
and
team
night.
is picking.
That definitely is problematic. But again, talking about problems, you always know the Sicilian Esmeralda combination is an extremely big problem, especially into that later stages of the game. And knowing that Esma can be put in jungle, her potential is immaculate. Never knew I would say it, but Esmeralda also seems to be a flex pick. But since the Granger hasn't picked up and the draft is same, we already know that Granger is going to go inside that jungle area, and it's a double marksman coming in from Ghoul of Tokyo. Now, how solid do you think is a Granger as well as a carry? As well as a carry setup.
It's really good. One has the early game control, and the other the mid to the late game. So it's really good, especially when the enemies have this Uranus and Minotaur. I think Gary is gonna enjoy melting them. In fact. But then again, since you have two marksmen in your team, your front line has to be strong and your positioning has to be good because obviously the enemies are going to keep on marking them again and again, and they're squishy. Like once you get a hold of them, it's hard for them to escape.
Agreed. And here we see Granger as well as Esma, both on red tree, but we know that Esmeralda is going to go into that EXP lane. Now, we've been talking about every single matchup, right? One thing that we haven't touched is the fact that Esmeralda is going to be up against a Uranus. Now, every other player who's been playing ML, who knows the concept of Esmeralda and Uranus, knows the fact that Esmeralda would be able to steal away that shield from Uranus. But only a few of them know that when it actually comes to the mid game and late game, if the Uranus has a dominant size, and even if an Esma has a dominant size, Uranus wins out the trade. So that is one thing that I believe SHOMONATION would be looking as well, because they know that their EXP can actually out damage Esmeralda.
Mm-hmm.
So I really feel like that is going to be extremely detrimental because they basically have one of that safety in their back pockets in the form of Uranus, when you know that he would be just in front of Carry and Granger and he could be easily fight around that entirety of the damage. But again, we're having a lot of collector skins on board, legend skins as well. Which one is your favorite though? I really like the collector skin of Kufra. Honestly,
that's my favorite, bro.
That
is my favorite. Like one of the most favorite ones.
Again, it's definitely worth it, and the wait was also worth it, boys, as we are in the game. It's SHOMONATION on the red side, and they're up against Ghouls of Tokyo on the blue side. Let's see if these people have got the strength that Kaneki has. or will SHOMONATION turn out to be their nemesis? It's game one and it's live. And both the teams are going in for a pretty aggressive rotation, Jenny. Look at that quick
Wow.
engage against the Granger. The Warrior almost steals it away, but still, Granger is able to get his own buff and so much struggle just for one blue. Ouch.
And nothing happened. And they didn't even profit from it. Like Granger, he already got it, but okay, just a little bit of a hindrance. Okay, Minotaur is again back to the S. Well, the Uranus looking at the gameplay so aggressive, but they might end up dying. The Uranus may go down there, escaping with a very little HP, and oh my god!
Oh, I had absolutely no idea you would actually manage to survive that. I mean, the strength, the mental strength in this guy. He knew how much he could tank, and he made sure that he does not give that first blood out. Now, Troll AB should probably hit that recall button as he's up against the Esmeralda, but nonetheless, that was a pretty aggressive first few minutes coming in from the side of SHOMONATION, just showing that they control the map, especially with the Uranus pick. He's been having that fun from the top to mid to bot again, now back in that top lane. It's not even been 2 minutes into the game. We are already seeing a 400 goal lead.
Yeah, he's already taken a good round of the entire Land of Dawn back to his lane. And the turtle will be here in just 2 seconds. Are you expecting a turtle fight? Because the other team is in the bottom lane ganking on carry.
Absolutely. The gank is definitely going on, and they're basically able to just steal away all of that gold sheet. Now, remember, Jenny, I mentioned that this is one of the win condition of SHOMONATION. They need to make sure that Brody gets that gold. He gets that gold out of that shield, and they managed to take down the tower of carry. So Destiny is going to have a lot of problem now farming up. He would be missing out on those minions as well as those gold, and Melee is just going to snowball out of control if he is not shut down.
Definitely, this does put carry a drawback, but then the Kufra is going to engage and misses out his first skill going on. Minotaur using up his Minotaur Fury, and they will escape this one because his team was too far away to come for a backup.
Absolutely, but the fight has not stopped yet. As Anisha needs to retreat back. That's going to be Granger with the Rhapsody. Tries to take him down, dashes forward. But the damage is just not enough. Talk about 1 HP escape. Ani-chan heals himself back up and goes to safety. That could have been a great first blood, but just look at the amount of gold. It's already almost 2,000 gold lead favoring SHOMONATION. It's like they're increasing their goal lead exponentially as the time goes on.
Definitely. I mean, their map control is just too good, and that look at Uranus still so ahead in the map, just not letting the Esmeralda do her job.
Exactly, that's one of the big problems, especially in the early game. Though I was expecting Esmeralda to actually win out on that trade. I wanted to see probably Leo dominating Troll AB. But it seems to be the other way around, as Melee seems to be chunking down the tier 2. My goodness, not even 5 minutes. That's going to be another jump on Core. But he seems to be in trouble as he gets stunned up. Torn apart memory. That's going to be the first blood coming in. Melee secures that pick. But I almost thought Kevin It is going to steal it away with a flame shot as well as the Astral Spear. I thought he would be able to take it.
The pressure coming in from them is just so much to handle. But they're also again having a fight on the blue buff.
Yet again, that's the Granger with the Retribution, takes it away. That Sonata connects, but that's just on Ani-chan. He's tanking. Oh, he did not anticipate. Esmeralda coming in, tango his cross, connects as they get the pick off. They needed. Uranus into the backline, gets knocked up by the Riders. Revenge and Rage connects on him. Troll will still run out of the harm's way with the flicker. And damn, this guy just does not stop as he jumps back in. Torn apart memory, connects. Sicilian falls. Melee with the snowball gets the second pick in the
Wow, bro. This game is gonna be so intense because first of all, they are not letting that carry farm at all because they know what carry can do later to the Minotaur and Uranus. Look at the bottom lane. Also, there's gonna be another fight for the turtle.
I don't think so. That's going to be an engage, though, to be honest, because just look at the whole difference. It's increasing again. It was 2,000. It's stagnant for now, but it definitely will increase after this turtle take, since they're already jumping in towards that jungle. We can see the engage coming out, a fight breaking out at any point, but tier 2 on the bot side, almost down. That's going to be the Ashtaleko, showing the position of 3 of them. And oh my goodness, what a deadly catch! Metaphorically as well as literally. That was just a great positioning coming in from SHOMONATION. Take 2 of them out in an instant. And one of them is Kufra. When your tank is being melted like that, it kind of breaks your backbone.
See, I told you, it's gonna be hard for him. But then they're coming in for the carry. Will she be picked up? But no, I guess she will be able to engage even. First Iron is coming in, but they're helping, no backup for him.
Indeed, and that's yet another pick. Destiny needs to run away. He actually does manage to after eating up Claw Crab Cannon. Sanguine Claws does not connect, but torn apart memory definitely does. As Melly takes down Sicilian, yet not having a great time at all. 1-6 is the score difference, and everything on the map seems to be red.
Wow.
Red. Ashion goes in for a deadly cast though. Will retreat back. There's one good thing happening for them, that Granger is getting his buffs. Be it orange, be it purple.
Is that helping? Is that helping anyway?
Not quite yet, but maybe in the later stages of the game. They need to stall it out, but for now, Melly seems to be in trouble as he is caught with that ultimate. There's going to be Flicker coming in. Melly needs to run away. Leo wants to chase him down, finish him off. That's the shutdown that they needed. Dodging the Ashtaleko. The sign of their retreat is now as Uranus actually finds some redemption, taking the tier 2 on the bottom side. They're controlling the turtle lane completely.
Yep, definitely. Like the entire team was in the top lane for the Brody, right? And there's another fight for the blue buff, I suppose. But this time, Granger is pretty low. The flame shot coming in on him, but he still escapes. And finally, scared yet, his blue buff is gone this time. And there has been an engage, and that Manager, I guess, is be using the Midon Fury again. But no, he haven't.
And it's just as you mentioned in the starting of the drafting phase that Kufra against a Mino, it's a problem for Kufra, and we're clearly seeing that. Plus this Bane pick kind of shuts down all the opening windows for him, and that's going to be another knockup coming in, but Esmeralda seems to be in trouble. Low HP, stuck on wall, had no way to retreat, no way to fall back to, no cover, no backup, and another pick off. The tier 2 should probably fall, but that's going to be both the tanks engaging onto the backline. Minon Fury connecting on 2, along with a deadly catch. And backline is decimated. In the meantime, some redemption by taking Anishan down. But that's just a tank. That's just a roam. SHOMONATION will take that trade any day. And the snipe connecting Destiny, surviving by the skin of his teeth.
Well, I told you, bro. It's gonna be hard for the Kufra when there's Manager in front because, in order to give it good engage, the Kufra has to connect, land on his Tyrant's Revenge properly, right? But then the Manager he just can flicker and just tap on his ultimate. Meanwhile, have a look at the units in the top lane.
Absolutely. Yet again, the fight breaking out. Uranus seems to be in trouble though. Will survive because we always know that he is a Uranus. You will be able to catch him, but not every single time. He mostly runs out and then jumps back in your face with full HP. Where did your skills go? On cooldown? Ooh, I'm back at full HP. That's what he says every single time. And I feel that's so annoying. But again, Lord marching down the mid lane. Jenny, do you think Ghoul of Tokyo would be able to defend?
I feel so, unless Esmeralda is facing some network issues, I guess she would just stand in there and they took a kill on her. Well, the Lord is marching for the mid lane. It's going to be a little hard to defend because Minotaur has his Midon Fury. It might be coming up anytime with a flicker with it. So I doubt it, bro.
Absolutely. And again, that's going to be the inhibitor taken down. Castilian, though, getting some stacks in. That's going to be the engage going in. Oh my goodness, the snipe. And this time it's from Brody, actually, as Kufra, extremely low in HP, will not survive as double goes for Melly. He takes 2 of them down, and the inhibitor on the top side is definitely going to fall. 3v5. They have to defend this. They have to take care of those waves. Deadly catch comes in. Melly locked onto the tower. That's going to be a flicker. Knockup coming in. And the Midon Fury knocks 2 of them back, who will go back to their base. And they will go back to the lobby as well. Since game 1 is secured by SHOMONATION.
Victory!
Wow, that was so smooth and quick, just flawless. And they barely made any mistake. Did they make any mistake?
I did not see any. Not even a single one from their side. They just
That's
knew all the
what.
rotations, Jenny.
That's what. Like you see, first of all, they have two tanks. All right, they have two tanks who are like controlling the map. On top of that, they have this Novaria to give you enough amount of vision you want. So it was like the entire map was there. They don't care. Nobody can gang them. You know what I mean?
Just being aware of the map is half of the game in your pocket, and that is what SHOMONATION has
Exactly.
showed. Indeed, and looking at the damage charts, it's Shion with 27% of the damage. Kevin Nater again on the Novaria, 35,000 damage dealt, 27%. Melee, 24. So they made sure that their snowball kicks in off the Bane and the Brody. Again, some things need to be fixed up on the side of Ghoul of Tokyo, especially in that drafting phase. They probably need some more early game presence, some more early game aggression, maybe changing a few things up in that EXP or even in that mid lane might be good for their side. But that's for the game number 2, guys. We will be right back. Stay tuned.
I remember the ocean memories die out too hard. But we were traveling the mountains just to find the loudest seas. We set our mighty fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I remember the ocean memories die out too hard. But we were traveling the mountains just to find the loudest seas. We set our mighty fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I remember the ocean, memories die out too hard. But we were traveling the mountains just to find the loudest seas. We set our mind at fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I remember the ocean, memories die out too hard. But we were traveling the mountains just to find the loudest seas. We set our mind at fire, knowing we could aim higher.
Hola, amigos. Welcome back. It's game number 2 time for match 1 of today. That's the quarterfinals. We're witnessing quarterfinals 3, day number 2. And again, it's team SHOMONATION who would be this time on the blue side. GHOUL of Tokyo would be on the red side. SHOMONATION starting strong with 1-0. Very convincing win in the first game. And again, the one who would be casting with me is one of the most amazing, fan favorite, has her own page, manages everything on her own, the beautiful Jenny.
Okay, I told you not to do that, but never mind. By the way, scared yet? It's GHOUL of Tokyo on the blue side and SHOMONATION on the red side. You mix it up.
They're gonna just change it in the game, you know. It's one of the mechanics
Oh,
that they have.
They can?
That's one of the.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they can. They can. They can basically go into the settings and choose which team has the blue side. So this time it's gonna be SHOMONATION on the blue side, but nonetheless, that's one of the perks that you get with this specific lobby for that tournament and the contest, right? But again, we're playing in this contest lobby, and we know that it's an extremely competitive match. And the stakes are extremely high because if you lose at this point, you will be dropped out. If you win, you go to the semifinals, a very big feat to achieve, in which SHOMONATION is already one step closer. So, Jenny, do you think we're going to see some similar draft, or are we seeing some changes from GHOUL of Tokyo this time?
There might be some changes from the side of GHOUL of Tokyo because they know that SHOMONATION they are very aggressive in the early game. We already saw that amount of aggression. So they're gonna have to pick some heroes which are gonna be able to counter that aggression, or they're gonna have to pick heroes and play exactly as aggressive as them, so that they don't have the upper hand like last time. And obviously, I think that they should be banning that Novaria at least, because she was giving them a lot of vision, and she has a lot of range. It's very hard to catch her. She's not even coming forward, right? She's gonna stay far away and just snipe.
Indeed. Or maybe, try and go for an early pick onto those assassins who can close in that gap. Maybe a Lancelot, maybe a Ling. Ling is mostly banned out, but we did see Lancelot being passed down into the second banning phase. So they had an option to actually go for a Lancelot pick. So maybe if you need someone to close in the gap and also has got an amazing mobility and a great damage, Lancelot should be, the go-to option. So it is highly possible that we might possibly see that kind of adjustment coming in from Ghoul of Tokyo. But even after that, we know SHOMONATION would also change something in their draft. Or maybe if it's not broken, don't fix it. Maybe they can go in for the same kind of strategy. Who knows? Since the sides will be changed, we'll probably see a different drafting strategy coming in from both of these teams. However, one thing that I think was extremely problematic for Ghoul of Tokyo was that EXP Uranus.
Definitely. I'm sure that they're either going to ban or pick him because he was very problematic. Like, he did not let Esmeralda do anything. All right. And also, Minotaur, the way he played, okay, all the engages, he just made Kufra fail, literally.
Exactly. And it did not let him do anything. It's just as you mentioned. But this is the thing, right? If you ban out a Uranus, you also leave room open for other picks. Maybe something like an Alert, or even possible, we've not seen a lot of times, but a Joy. And even if you do not want to go with those picks, you also have the Lapu Lapu, who's kind of fallen out of the meta, but I still think he's a really solid pick. Combine it, or replace him with a Yu Zhong, and that's yet another tool in your arsenal who can technically do what a Uranus does, but more on that damage side as the backline will be threatened. So I probably think that we might possibly see these kinds of picks coming in. And when you talked about that mid lane matchup, maybe they should ban out the Novaria or probably pick up an Eve to counter her. Maybe.
And no matter what the bans or the picks, they're gonna have to change your playing style as well. As we could see the last game that SHOMONATION, they were very, very aggressive. The rotation was way too faster, and they did not let it carry farm. They were just on like four versus one in the bottom lane almost all the time. And the other team, that the Ghoul of Tokyo, they did not have anything to do about it, right? Also, whenever the blue buff comes in, they were ready. They were ready to invade almost every time. Luckily, the Granger was able to take the buffs to the retribution, but in the end, when the map opened up more for them, he wasn't able to do it anymore, right? So they're gonna have to be more fast with the rotation, maybe, because either way, even if you have a better draft, I guess SHOMONATION is still gonna play more aggressive now, in fact, because they've already won one match, so they're gonna be really confident.
Agreed. And confidence is the key, especially when you're at this stage. You know that if in case you are able to land those shots, connect those skills, you have a very good momentum on your side. And SHOMONATION clearly showed that momentum is detrimental to a team's demise or even their victory. And Ghoul of Tokyo need to break that. They need that momentum in their favor. They need the winds to blow in their favor, just to drag them away towards that victory. However, they've got a mountain to climb at this point, especially, jumping through that mental barrier, the fatigue they're going through, and what could be going in their minds is, I cannot even fathom to think about that because, of course, it's a do or die match for them. SHOMONATION, yes, they've got a room of error. They can probably let go of this match and then can bounce back in game number 3. But this second match is everything when you're talking about Ghoul of Tokyo, as they'll be on the red side, SHOMONATION on the blue side, and we're going to jump into the draft. And I think so the first band's probably going to come back in the same way, and that's Alice.
Immortality.
Uranus is one thing, but then Alice, you cannot. Uranus is tanky, really tanky, but then Alice can eat up your entire team. So no. First ban.
He's a beast, like literally the demon goddess at this point. And the Mino is going to be respected. I really like this adjustment. Minotaur taken out and not letting it through. They know that he posed a lot of problems with that backline. Yep, you called it. You really called it.
1,000 worlds.
I knew they were gonna ban Minotaur. I'm not sure about Novaria, but they should. They should. Well. I expect Novaria to scare that. What about you? There we go.
That's a respect ban after a respect ban. Ghoul of Tokyo do not want to deal with any of that. Sheesh. I like them. I like that. I really like that. If they're creating a lot of problem for you, just ban it all out. And last ban, probably a link. Maybe. You can change things up. Maybe ban Novaria.
I told you.
Stars for top tier.
Jenny, what kind of black magic have you done?
Bro, I told you these three were the only ones causing the most amount of problems. You know, Uranus far ahead in the map, and then Novaria from behind, and Minotaurs engage. I'll just ban them, but then obviously it leaves room. They got that Terisla, that Aldous. Is Aldous going hyper or EXP scared yet? I'm not sure how good of an Aldous is in EXP at this meta.
Yeah, he gets sucks real quick. So you might actually want to go in with that damage build. You can also put him in the gold lane, just as I said, because you want a late game beast. You've got that in the form of an Aldous. Go with the Malefic Roar, Endless Battles, Thunderbelt. You've got a ton of true damage with a bunch load of penetration. So I think so it's a pretty solid pick even for the gold lane if you want. But again, at the end of the day, we're going to see the Khufra being picked up. And I'm personally not a big fan of that Aldous skin. The guns seem to be his arm, and seeing how he's basically a punching hero, just not right. That's not right.
I've been waiting for this.
Meanwhile, Scared, they got an Esmeralda. Just look at this. Okay, they cut out the heroes that they are comfortable with. I mean, SHOMONATION is comfortable with, but they still have the ones that they were comfortable with. Like they are going for the Khufra once again. They are banning the entire draft, bro. Just look at that Brody ban.
Might as well ban out, the last pick as well.
What was it?
The ban of the EXP, the ban of the gold, ban with the Bane.
Yeah.
I mean, he can pose a problem to Khufra because he'd be jumping in, can also pose a problem to Aldous. So that this engage tool is to be removed. Might as well just take him away, but that would also leave a lot of room open for Akaja into the room. And we have seen Angela as a mage. I mean, I have seen that in NA quite a lot. They pick Angela and they put her in the mid lane. And somehow she's dealing a ton of damage. I don't know why. And there we go. They banned out the Bane.
Okay. Wow. They just banned entire draft from the last match. All right. But they are picking this almost the same heroes. Okay, the Aldous is different, but they're still going for the carry, and carry will be good. But if the same thing happens, the same amount of aggression in the carry's lane comes in once again, it's going to be the same thing. And just look at them. They have to carry that Aldous. Most of them are late gamers. They already have 2 late gamers. So what early gamers are you expecting from them? Is it going to be a Granger once again?
Is to trick the Reaper.
They could, but I would not be a big fan of a Granger. Because looking at the lineup of SHOMONATION, it seems they still want to go in for that front to back because Terisla will be their front liner. Angela is just going to jump onto the jungler, and again, it's going to be problem. So you need someone to close in that gap. So maybe a Lancelot, but they're going to go in for the Kadita. And it's a very good answer for that early pick. You also take care of any kind of stationary heroes that might come in from SHOMONATION. That is a very good pick. But I was expecting someone who could do a Brody's job. Could be Clint, could be Beatrice, but they are going with a Bruno. Long time no see, my football friend.
Well, Bruno's got a lot of damage. I recently faced one Bruno player in opponent when I was playing rank, and the amount of damage he dealt, I was like, I barely see this guy in opponent, like Bruno being picked, and he picked it, and I was like so destroyed. Okay, Minsitar pick. What do you have to say about this? He's good, by the way. Oh no, they're not going for Minsitar.
Yeah, they needed some disengage too. Let's streams. All right. Hear me out. That's the Edith in the roam position, or maybe Edith in the mid lane. Angela, they're gonna put in the roam. They needed magic damage. They've got that in the form of Edith. And you needed a disengage tool. You've got your skills to land in. You're gonna knock them up, throw them towards your own tower. You've got a bunch load of utilities. So I think so that is a pretty solid pick. But Leo mod coming in as the final jungler. That kinda that has been off meta for a long time now. So how good would be that Phantom Steed? That's gonna be the question, Jenny. What do you think about that Leo pick?
I think it's good. It's good if you can manage. Like it depends obviously on his gameplay. They are very aggressive. SHOMONATION is very aggressive. So Leo does take some time to farm up, right? So it depends. But again, it still looks balanced to me, though. It still looks balanced to me. But then, talking about early game, they have this. No, both teams. Why? Okay, they have Angela on their roam, right? Who is their mage then?
Mhm. That's Edith. Edith's gonna be
That's Edith.
playing as a mage, probably. Probably.
Little bit confused right now.
Yeah, I mean that's not the standard draft we usually see as a Tajma in the jungle, guys. We're gonna jump in game number 2. SHOMONATION never stops to surprise us. But they're taking a page out of ABM's book with Isma in that jungle. Let's see, will it be the end of the dreams for GHOUL of Tokyo? Or will it be them forcing game number 3 on SHOMONATION? We're jumping in game 2, Land of Dawn, we're on our way.
Okay, it's Angela Mage. Well, by the way, I am actually a fan of Angela Mage. Okay, she can deal a lot of damage. Okay, once I picked Angela to play Roam. Okay, but then it turned out that I was forced to play as Mage, and I was surprised that okay, she's so good. She can deal a lot of damage. She can slow them down. She can stun. She can support. So it's actually a good pick and gives more scope for Bruno to farm to position himself because look at the team, they're all so tanky, right? They have the Edith is tanky, of course. Esmeralda, the Teresa, and Angela, she can just jump in on you. She can just jump in on that Bruno. So I think that the Bruno is gonna be the real deal in this team in SHOMONATION.
True. I mean, that way of the world is going to pose a lot of problem, and we're going to have a quick pause coming in as well. Now, there's one thing, I still remember the time when Leo actually used to deal crit damage when HP was below 30%. That passive was changed. That was changed a little bit. Now, his basic attacks are now guaranteed to critically strike against enemies below 35% max HP. So that's kind of a buff to his passive. And of course, that also means you would be dealing a lot more damage because it deals 200% damage. That is absolutely insane. So if you're able to farm up, you would be able to decimate that backline because you will gain a lot of mobility after you enter the state of Phantom Steed. Basically, when you're riding a horse and you're chasing everyone, swinging a sword like a maniac. I want to see Leo mode right on his face whenever he's on his horse.
Yeah. Well, I am not yet seeing the same amount of aggression from the last game. So things might be different because Tokyo, they also do have a good lineup, right? They have this Kadita. She can just go in. The thing is that if all of them just marks Bruno whenever there is a gank, if they're able to mark Bruno, it's quite almost a win for them because just look at the draft, right? The Teresa, the Esmeralda, okay. But then the main damage dealer here is gonna be that Bruno. Like almost everything depends on the Bruno. From my point of view, at least.
And absolutely, your point of view is correct because Bruno, with his mecha legs, he needs to hit that football right onto their face. He needs those headshots coming in. He has to make sure that those volley shots land perfectly. Those stacks are going to help him with that crit. Can also slow the opponents down, so you have a lot of room to work with. Also have that dash going in, that flying tackle. So you can just create that distance, can stun the opponents. So you have room to work with, is your window. And that is basically the window that you have in order to actually get that win and work in this situation. Let's see. It does seem to be trouble, to be honest. But we'll have to see. At the end of the day, Esmeralda jungle is also extremely annoying. We did see it in the situation where ABM went in with that Esma jungle, decimated the Chang'e, and Chang'e was a pretty solid pillar in the defense of their opponents. But this time, there's no Chang'e opponent. It's Kadita, and you know that Kadita's rough waves would rough you up pretty bad if you're caught in it.
Yeah. I feel like that Terisla is gonna give some really good engages, some really good penalty zone, making it easy for Bruno to just come in and kill all of them, right? Okay. On the other hand, I guess this time it makes it a little bit easy for Kufra to land his Tyrant's Revenge and Tyrant's Rage as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Kufra's engage this time.
It is going to depend a lot on him, especially in the previous game as well. He was able to provide a lot of setups, but the Minotaur always just stopped his own backline to somehow provide him the support. And just because of the Bane, you knew that backline was so very threatened in that entire situation. So that was a very good capitalization of banning out the Minotaur and picking up the Kufra yet again in order to do the exact same thing. But you know what a Minotaur does? Even Ani-chan on that Edith could do. He could pose a lot of problem to the Kufra with that Earth Shatter, with the Onward. And plus, you always know that there's kind of this problem of a double marksman whenever there's an Edith in the opponent. We are going to jump back into the game, guys. As we're going to see, the rotations again seem to be pretty normal. Leomord with that momentum, taking his own creep, also stole away the Little Wanderer. So that's a pretty good neutral objective taken away. Now, when it comes to those neutral objectives, I think so Leomord has a massive edge because with that momentum, with that skill one of yours, you have the perfect timing with the retribution to steal away those lords and to steal away those turtles. That's going to be Phantom Street called in. Barbiel jumps in the battlefield. They try to somehow pick Melee off, but he's just playing too safe. And Ani-chan is also there on this Edith, so they do not want to further pressurize that lane and just retreat back to their own jungle, farm up, and rotate towards that turtle.
Yeah, they could have actually taken another Bruno, but the engage was a little bit too early from Leomord. They should have maybe waited for the Kufra to jump in. But then they have already started the turtle and Leo's on the blue buff. So, no, there has been no content for the start. It's going to be a free for Tokyo Gold. But the Kanita using up her ultimate on the Angela, but she manages to escape, bro.
I don't even understand how is that possible. That's going to be the chased fate connecting, but that's one of the things you can do with Angela. Kevin Hater just using the hard guard, jumping onto Esmeralda, who's on full HP. So that Aldous does not get those stacks in, and Terizla is doing an amazing job stopping him from gaining those stacks onto those cannon minions, freezing the wave in his favor. Now, if you're looking at it in that sense, both of these lanes are kind of the losing lane for Ghoul of Tokyo because Aldous is never winning against that Terizla, no matter what, no matter which day of the week, which week of the year, Aldous is not winning that trade. And when you're talking about Bruno, he can just brick wall against the carry, can play back and play safe, but Leo wanted to go in for a pick. Could not catch the timing right. Earth Shatter gets a couple of them, but the Rage is now available. So they would probably be looking for even more engages.
Yeah, they are playing really passive to this time called Tokyo, while SHOMONATION, they are trying to be a little aggressive, but not being able to make some good engages. Kufra trying again and again to land the Tyrant's Revenge, but then he didn't do this time, along with the Tyrant's Rage, going straight in for the kiss, but no! He managed to escape, but on the other hand, he fires back and then Kufra goes down!
And guess who took the first pick? That's always the Angela you meet in ranked games who always steals away your kills. That's Kevin Hater on that Angela taking away that pick. But nonetheless, on the other side of the map, we also see Terizla winning out on that trade. However, looking at the top, we're still seeing the pressure coming in. Recalls being shown, but Kadita seems to be in such a tough spot along with Carry. Hardguard comes in. They want to jump in for more. They want to go in for those pickoffs. And the damage is just there. The Kadita takes Bruno down. And that is something they did not expect. Rounding out of the harm's way as well. What a turn of events. What a good punish coming in from the side of Ghouls of Tokyo.
Wow, that was so unexpected. Very, very well played. But in the bottom lane, are you kidding me? Terisla versus Aldous. 1v1 and Terisla takes him down, just like you say, just like you mentioned a while ago.
That's basically 2 times in a row now. And again, if I was Aldous, even I would be a little restless in this situation. But again, we're going to see the rough is connecting, and that's Anichan deleted in an instant. No more engaged tool coming in, but Bruno still free farming. That's going to be the knock. Coming in, Rage connects. Keminator will jump out of the house, which is Spade connects onto Melly, who has to run out of the house. They cannot do so as the One Punch Man deletes him off the map. And Xion, the jungler, will not be able to get his own creeps, no trades whatsoever. But the bottom tier 1 has been taken down. And I really love the proactive play that Ghouls of Tokyo are making, taking down that top tier 1 as well.
The penalty zone coming in from the terrorist. Like the Kufra is down already. Esmeralda going to take another kill on that carry, but it is trying to recall. No, that's not it. I'm sorry. Leomord will be going down as well, bro. Oh, wait.
They will be able to take Leo down as Barbie is just gonna march down on an empty path of his. As no Vexana this time to revive the Leo mod, but holy moly! Unit coming out at clutch somehow gets the equalizer, finishes off Keminator. That is the strength of a Kadita, but look at the top side. Tier 1 has been taken down. Chase Fate again logged in, this time on Bruno. He'll probably stop at mid lane though. Not gonna go towards the end. Finally, Aldous is getting some stacks, but again, the thing is, Carry is not getting the farm that Carry needs. So that's a problem.
Yep, there is going to be another fight at the bottom. The penalty is coming on by the Terisla, but they escape somehow. Esmeralda, she's trying to get some kills, but the Liam are coming in. And rough waves coming in from the Kadita, but there has been no casualty for yet. But the Liamort is down already. They are going to go for the double kill by the Kadita. Triple kill on that idiot and shut down that Kadita by the Esmeralda. Maniac has been stolen by the Esmeralda, bro. And she is going for another kill on the carry, but that's not going to be possible.
Now that's the problem. That's the threat and Edith always poses. You always have that primordial form in which that marksman deals a ton of damage, and you never know when it's coming from. Plus the lifesteal is also there, so you are always surprised by it. But that's going to be another jump landing in. However, the knockback is right there. Phantom Steed connect. He has to go on forward. Chase Fate goes on. They want to take that pick. Will be able to get one. That's a shutdown onto the hands of Aldous. But again, it is going to be their opponents who will be prevailing in that fight. Problems after problems arising for their side.
They banned that monitor, but then they'll... Yeah. Okay, they are going to be taking another turret. No, they tried it. They did put some pressure. Well, they banned the Minotaur, but they left the Terisla open, and the penalty zone is as deadly as Minotaur's Mid-on Fury, isn't it?
Yes, you're absolutely correct at that. Because you know that penalty zone is just going to create so many problems for your backline. The corner, Rough is connecting. Do they actually get this pick? Because everyone else is now falling. Earth Shatter is right there. Terisla has been taken down. So that's one of the main engaged tools out of the picture. And they can actually look forward to take this lot down. No ultimate available for Leomord though. So that's one thing. But nonetheless, I think they do have the damage to actually take them down and get this out, but still want to play it safe.
Yeah, they are not going for the Lord. None of them wants to risk it. Also, Kufra, will he? Okay, he did not. He was like, not right now.
Yep, not overstaying his welcome there, Leo. It's going to come down onto him. He needs to land his revenges on Bruno. Once he does that, his team would be able to follow up. If anyone, at least Gannett would be able to follow up with the rough wave. So that's one tool, one utility that they need in their arsenal to make sure that Melee does not do a lot of damage. As the hard guard comes onto him, rough wave just for the defense runs out, but not out enough as he'll be caught in the penalty zone, taken down, and that's a double kill already for Melee. His farmed up. His footballs are hurting.
That's what I thought. That's what I predicted. Actually, they are going to be so tanky and providing so much, for that Bruno to just come and take the kills. And but they are taking the Lord already without any contest. While Angela just being annoying, Tyrant's revenge on Angela, but she is not gonna die, bro. Nothing's gonna happen to her at that moment.
Yes, definitely a problematic situation. And the Lord marching down towards that bottom. Again, seems like the deja vu of the previous game. Situation is almost the same. As the goal lead has increased to almost 5,000. Talking about the itemizations, I really want to look at those items because I can see the Dragon Spear being picked up by Bruno. That's Walmart version of Zolong's ultimate. But we're going to see... And it's almost gets that one punch in, but he did save the life as now the penalty zone takes the remaining members out. No more front line in form of Supra. No more clearer in form of a carry. Both of them just taken down, and oh no. No, you're not just recalling in their faces, in their bases, in fact. Karita jumping in the own fountain. They're not even there to take down his hair strand of the face of Esmeralda as the Lord takes the bottom inhibitor. Penalty zone connect yet again. Palacios is jumping out of the harm's way. Kufra again with a revenge tries to land in on someone. Rage into the tower, and they should be able to get at least 2 of them as the stat down comes in. Bruno's taken down. Low HP on Edith. Will be able to retreat back to safety as Teresa still face tanks everything and gets them low enough. Dangerously low, in fact, for them to recall back, and that's the falling Star Moon onto carry, who would still be able to jump out of the harm's way as the momentum comes in to try and clear out that wave as it comes in from that bottom side.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure.
Indeed, they're just not stopping at all, and it seems like the top inhibitor might be the next target. Phew. Finally, some time for me to take a breath. Maybe not, Jenny. Maybe not.
No, you're wrong. You're looking at this Esmeralda.
Exactly. They're just keeping such a high press on, making sure that they do not have any freedom to do anything in their own bases, but finally respecting the damage. Finally taking a break and, resetting things only to steal all the resources away.
They're just gonna wait for the Lord and just make it easy after getting the Lord, I guess. And obviously, it's gonna be really, really hard for Tokyo Ghoul to come and contest for the Lord. They just might end up being deleted. Okay, look at Kadita camping.
Could be the pick-off of this game. Definitely could land good, but it needs to be Bruno. Trying to scout out the bush. Kivinitas is going to survive that. That's going to put Gennett in such an awkward position. He's dead. Not surviving that at all. And that's the mage out of the
efforts.
Yep. He tried. Almost tried. Marangela was just a little bit faster, and they'll be so quick to take this Lord down as well. No more Kadita means no potential to backstab, finish them off. And that's another Lord.
Yeah, they're not. I don't think they will be like. I doubt that they will be able to defend this Lord because it's gonna. Okay. All those might just get picked off, and oh, look at it, HP. Okay. Bro, what's happening?
Yeesh. That's literally they're just probably having fun. The carousel of victory, maybe. Just kind of showing off, finally taking down the Lord. Oh, maybe they just wanted him to evolve. Probably. But they're just having fun at this point, man. Trolley, we just look at that, buying the immortality. That's just putting even more nails in their own coffin as Aldous is paid. Just being deleted mid-air. No way you're flying out of here, Aldous. Just go back to your fountain and respawn after
and the game is just about to end. They are going straight in for the base. They are about to end this game. They got the auto stun already, and this is gonna be it for a victory for SHOMONATION. Penalty zone on the Leomord, but they are not even ending right there. And finally, that's it, Scardian. You need to get out of the Discord stream.
I definitely need to. That is just outwardly outrageous. My goodness. And again, it's the Esmeralda with the MVP. 4, 1, and 11 with the utility build. So look at those cooldowns. Edith with 9.5 grade, 4, 2, and 13. We were talking about how Bruno needs to do this, Bruno needs to do that. I'm like, no, Bruno. We're going to take the wheels in our own hand and drive this car, drive our vehicle to win. And that's another 2-0 in the third quarterfinals as well, Jenny.
Yeah, yeah. Really, really well played. Esmeralda, respect. She just kept on providing that position to that Bruno. Like, she's always in front, right? She's always annoying. There's nothing they could do. And Kadita, in the end, when she was like just before taking the Lord, she was waiting to get someone down, and she tried to get it Angela, but then she is so tanky, and then on top of that, she missed her second skill, and she missed her rough waves on her, getting herself missed positions instead, right? So the pressure was already built up on them. But SHOMONATION, bro, very, very well played.
Really well played. Agreed. And that's going to be it for this quarterfinals, guys. But we still have one more coming right up. It's Team Cry. Might as well be known as Team Jinx. Never mind. Team Cry up against Team RYZEN. That's going to be the last quarterfinals coming in. You'll be seeing some new casters on the cam as well. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here traveling the mountains just to find the loudest seas. We set down by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here first. But here something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here traveling the mountains just to find the loudest seas. We set down by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here first. But here something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I remember the ocean, memories die out too hard. But we were traveling the mountains just to find the loudest seas. We set down by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here
We're heading towards the last few stages of the tournament, and in between those stages, that's one of the last stairs that they need to climb. As this is the fourth and the final quarterfinals of the Battleknights project, which is brought to you by Battleknights Esports, managed by Mayura Esports, streamed by none other than Bat Tanka, and it's in collaboration with Mobile Science. So, guys, it's just as you heard, it's the fourth and the last quarterfinals, and we will find the last semi-finalist from this best of three matchup. That's going to be between the teams, which will be announced by none other than the most amazing Jinx.
Thanks for letting me, announce the teams because one of them has my name in it. So there's the side of Team Cry, Cry on the left side here, and against Team RYZEN. Now, whoever wins this matchup is gonna go into those semi-finals. They're gonna be with SHOMONATION, ABM, Kala Jadu. So those are going to be amazing matches to watch, and I'm sure like both of these teams do not want to give up that slot. So we had a bit of a long break, so let's just get right back into the draft pick, figure out what these teams have planned out for us.
Absolutely. We've seen some few changes coming in. We've seen Esmeralda into the jungle. We've had Baines in the jungle. And of course, it was SHOMONATION who picked up both those heroes and they were able to win out their games. It is highly possible that we might be surprised when we'd be jumping in this draft. But I think so that for Team Cry, they would try and keep it the same. Maybe kind of ban out the Zilong. I never thought I would be saying something like this. But since we've seen RYZEN constantly going in with that Zilong in the EXP lane and Zilong push and that typical rank Zilong that always pushes you down back to Epic, I guess they might as well decide and ban it out.
I don't know. I mean, is it really worth that ban? You just need like one hero to stop him. But the thing about Zilong, right, which is a pretty standard for the side of Team Cry, is Cry the one who picked, or RYZEN, sorry. So RYZEN, they, I mean, if Zilong farms up, he does tend to, be able to kill those squishy heroes pretty fast. But the thing about the Zilong of the side of Team RYZEN, he's not going to be focusing on those team fights. He's going to be pushing down those lanes, right? That's what we've seen from him most of the time. But we just have to wait and see if they change it up. But for now, at least, no Zilong ban coming in. They're going to be banning out that Kadita, Xbox, as well as Uranus. I mean, I think we had a Uranus in the last matchup, right? SHOMONATION versus GHOUL of Tokyo, and we saw how tanky he was.
Someone's been paying a lot of attention to the matches, and Of course, since you're pretty busy in your own arena as of now, yes, you're absolutely correct over the fact that Uranus was picked up and he was a demon in that game. No one was able to finish him off, and the way that Uranus was kiting around, especially with the Esmeralda into that EXP lane, that was obnoxious to be honest. But either ways, we're gonna see and look for the bans are for this game. Kadita, Xborg, and Mincithar up against the Eve as well as the Uranus. RYZEN, since they're targeting all those extremities, maybe they want to take away jungler, a Ling, they could ban it out, or maybe even an Arlet, since they've already targeted the EXP. They could also probably and decide to take away a marksman if they would feel like. Maybe
I
a
mean,
Brody?
that Alice, though, scared it. I mean, she's still
Yeah.
available. She's really tanky, right? I'm not sure if these people want to be picking her up or banning her.
My
But looks like they heard me. They're going to
Good
be
call.
banning out that Alice. This reminds me of that, listen, look, listen, and learn. Is it? Did I get it wrong?
You absolutely got it correct, to be honest, because we can see that the
Okay.
Alice has been banned out. Team Cry. And again, that's going to be the first pick. Martis coming in. We've seen that from RYZEN already a couple of times now. Uh, you know, sometimes when you have to counter a comfort pick, you probably would want to lean with your own comfort picks coming in order to counter a Zilong who's basically good at pushing the lanes. You can probably go with a Badang in the EXP lane with the arrival spell. I know that it is not at all common, and no one would dare pick him up in this situation, but sometimes in order to stop those push, you can try and lean back more in towards that comfort, towards what used to be the case, what used to work. Maybe even secure a sun inside the jungle, because you know that his clones would pull in a lot of slows. And right now, with the Dragon Spear, I think so he's also pretty valid whenever you'd be picking a stun. But Team Cry,
To
going with the
live
Faramis,
is to
going
trick
with the
the
Florin. Please
Reaper.
tell me you are not the manager of Team Cry with that Florin pick in that Rome position.
I mean, Florin is amazing, Rome, right? I mean, with a global heal, it's just almost impossible to kill any of our teammates. And now Faram is, though, making it worse for the side of team Ryzen here. It's going to be so hard to counter. Valentina is still available. We just have to wait and see if they decide to pick him up. I think it would be a good, no, mage pick coming in here. It's not really a counter to the Faramis, but it does provide the same
Ah,
sort of sets, to their own team. We just have to wait and see though. But that glue, not sure. I mean, everyone knows Faramis is like the counter to the glue, right? I hope he's planning to like build like at least two magic defenses. Otherwise, he's going to be melted down by this Faramis. Meanwhile, like we were talking about before they started off the draft pick, that Zilong looks like they're not going to give him up. He's going to be there in this matchup, and we're going to see him in that EXP lane.
someone please play that song in the background. I'm never gonna give you up. I really like that meme song because that is the current situation. Zilong yet again for that EXP. And yes, I'm as surprised as you are since we're talking about the counters. We know that Paramis easily counters a glue. Being picked up by a void. I think so. Samon should have avoided a Paramis pick, but it does not seem to be the case.
Pain is the
They
proof
are
that
still
I'm
looking
still
to go in for their
alive.
comfort, and glue is going to be their main tank, to be honest. Not even the EXP, because they have Zilong. So I think
I didn't cure the pain.
Your team is banning.
I will choose my
Your
own
team
path.
is banning.
Come
Your
on,
team
Dexter.
is banning.
It's our showtime.
Sir, what's your command? Your team is picking. Your team is picking.
Of imprisonment.
From the murkiest water, the purest water lily emerges.
That is true. And again, it's your favorite pick, Kagura, coming into the play along with the Clint. Now, Clint is also pretty solid at snowballing, very good at brick walling his own opponents. You know, you would be able to spam in your skills. That quick draw is going to help you clear out that wave. And then for that jungle, we're going to see Cry Baby QT on the Fredrin. So very solid tanky lineup, which is heavily dependent on the burst damage that would be provided by the Brodies. It clearly shows that they really want to play around that gold lane. They want to make sure that Tarun is the one who is farmed up. It's kind of the similar strategy that SHOMONATION used up today in game number 1 with their own Brody Snowball. But on the other side, you have the Martyrs, you have the Zilong who's always going to be on those side lanes to push those extremities. You've got the Clint to brick wall. You also have him for that AoE damage. But against a tanky lineup, I don't think so. Clint is the best possible option.
We just have to see. But they picked up the Fredrin like I was hoping they do. They do pick him up. I feel like the side of team Cry right now, they have well-rounded, lineup coming in. We just have to. I think obviously the Kagura, she needs to play a big role here, right? She needs to pick off this Faramis soon or pick off the Florine. It's gonna be really helpful to her team. And then Martus can come in, try to, melt them all, the rest of them down. And you know what Zilong is going to be doing? He's going to be pushing those lanes down. So, Tesla better be prepared.
Exactly. And there's one thing. Zilong is going to push those side lanes. Tesla would not be as quick on those rotations as Zilong could be just because of that ultimate, that Dragon's Fury that he basically gets. So that's one thing you could basically utilize and try to get that split push in on towards those side lanes. But we're going to jump in the land of Dawn, people. Quarterfinals 4. Match number 2. Game number 1. It is going to be the last two teams battling it out for the last place, the fourth one in the semi-finals. Moving forward in this tournament, we have got RYZEN, who are on the blue side. They'll be taking on Team Cry, who are on the red side. Drafts are all set. Pause is on its way, and we are already in the land of Dawn. Jinx is also back in the arena. And since we have a pause, Jinx, we also have time to discuss about the draft a little more, wherein, yes, the split push might be favoring RYZEN, but I think so as for the 5v5 team fights go, we have Team Cry on a very huge advantage.
I mean, I'll have to agree with you. I'm sort of glad for the pause. I hope I can maybe fix my mic up. I apologize again if there is some, disturbance from my end. I'm going to try to fix it up by the time the teams fix up their issues. Meantime, though, speaking of the draft, I would say, right, like we were talking about, Team Cry definitely have the better draft coming in. For Ramus, Florine, and that Fredrin as well as the Terisla front lane. And then it's going to be just like free farming for that Brody. I mean, no one's going to be able to reach him unless that Zilong comes in those team fights. And I hope he does. They definitely need him because Glue might just get melted down, quickly because of the Faramis and Martus. I'm not sure how much he's going to be able to sustain, right? That's the only front lane they have right now. Kagura definitely has to do good in this match. She needs to keep her targets on point. And Clint, he's just going to be probably melting them down from the back lane. I hope he gets to farm up in the early game, gets a few items before the Brody over farms him, because that's what we need to see. Otherwise, Team Cry might just have an easy game this time.
Highly possible and extremely likely in this situation. But it has happened before. it's not like RYZEN has not faced this glue against a Faramis in the previous games. They have, and they have won it out as well. Finally, we're going to go out of that pause. The strategic timeout is over, guys. And again, all of these teams are just super ready for their matchup. Now, same one is just going to leash the buff for Demon Kane a little bit so that he gets an advantage over Fredrin. Oh, Fredrin actually takes his own jungle way too quickly. That's basically him getting in his own advantage in that rotation. Since he started with the orange, he will end up going towards the lane of Zilong. So they're making sure that they prioritize the turtle lane faster than anything else. Little Wanderer battle. Oh, and Demon Kane wins it out actually. So that's a good neutral objective secured.
True, right? Another thing though, this Terizla doing a good job of zoning out the Zilong. I think he would be really good, right? I mean, he's not going to stop Zilong in his tracks. I'm not sure if Zilong is going to have a good time pushing down those lanes. But the thing about Terizla, you want him in those team fights. So while Terizla is, has supporting his team, Zilong just might be able to push those lanes. We have to wait and see. Rotation is on point from both sides. Fredrin going towards the EXP lane might just catch out the Zilong here. He's trying to, get that one minion, but he's not able to.
Demon Kane just utilizing that decimation perfectly, finishing off Faramis, gets the first blood, and also a 500 gold lead for his own team. And again, the entire priority being given by Team Christ towards that bottom. They're showing a lot of respect to Adiboy Zilong, who they know can snowball out of control with that lane pushing. And Terizla is also just not leaving. Panye making sure that his wave is always clear. Now it's going to be the battle of retribution between both of these junglers in that turtle pit, as Martis and Fredrin, both of them just try and surround that area, as Kagura and Glue also join in the fight, with Faramis joining it. He does not have the cult altar yet, so that could be problematic, but that's going to be Fredrin securing the turtle while the fight still goes on. Kagura taking down Terizla, and that's the trade coming in. Jungler taken down, Demon Kane. That's a good pick coming in for their side. Samon seems to be low as well and might not survive. But the immobile coming in, Void wants to dash in along with a spear flip. Saves the life of Samon just only for some time. And Adiboy has to run away. Will not be able to do so, as Faramis finishes him off, finishes things off in style. He did jump in to try and save life of Samon, giving 2 instead of 1 after that decision, and also probably some goal advantage back in favor of Team Cryas. Now they're up by almost 1.2 thousand gold.
They do seem to be dominating those team fights, and they also seem to be dominating that gold lane there. I mean, that gold has been chunked down. Glue, though, amazing ultimate on this Florine, managed to drag her onto the side of Clint, but gets melted down here. Like we were talking about, that Faramis is going to hurt. Kagura, though, good pick off on that Brody as well. So I think they did, I mean, it's just like give and take, right? They're getting one and they're losing one. They just need to play a bit more safe, I feel. And Clint, though, he's way too low. I mean, Faramis does seem, I mean, Martis is there, so I think he's safe.
Yeah, indeed. He was probably trying to bait out Faramis in order to get him off position, but that was a smart play from avoiding that bait and doing good in defending that tower. Otherwise, it could have been detrimental for them. Nonetheless, almost 15 more seconds for the turtle to spawn in. Rotations coming in for both of these teams was the one who took the previous turtle. Now Samon seems to be the target coming in. Immobile will be there. The split is it out? Yes, it definitely is. While top tier 1 has been taken away, and that's going to be the grab brought back towards Martis. Demon Kane is right there. Kagura goes in for damage as well. The burst is right there. Samon seems to be in trouble as he gets taunted, and the tone about memory used up. Fredrin secures the pickoff, and that's the front liner out. And it's just as we were talking about, Glue just not being tanky enough at all. He's being squished down so easily, but Adiboy doing the exact same thing he's been doing in so many previous matches. Just pushing as much as he can, try to camp in that bush, but Florin and Brody are going towards that bottom now. So I don't think so that push strategy is working in this game, and I don't think so it's going to work out.
That's true. He's gonna. I mean, they got the top lane, so it's going to be a switcheroo. Teresa is going to be, going to the top, and now this Zilong though, he's going to have a tough time against the Brody as well as the Florine. I mean, she's babysitting pretty hard. He does go in there, but he's not going to be able to get anyone, and he's going to lose his life as well. Glue though, he is ready to engage.
And there we go, the universal heal coming in. Bloom, they try to save the life. Cult Altar for the clutch and saves the life of Florin only for so long. Blue finishes him off, but he will be traded just as quickly for Ramis. His nemesis is right there, and the trades still go in favor of Team Cry. They're making RYZEN cry for picking the Zilong and the Glue.
I mean, yeah, that's tough, right? I wish they'd picked up the Valentina. I mean, it probably would have helped them quite a bit in this team fight. Zilong, though, going 1v3 here, he's not going to be able to save this turret. I think they're going to be losing that mid lane. That means all three tier 1 turrets are gone. They're having a tough time, right? Especially those hero locks. I feel they need to, be going into those backlines, catching the Florine, catching the Faramis. Definitely don't want to be ulting, the Fredrin that I've seen the Kagra do a few times. And now that they started snowballing, right? Brody has gotten his items. It's going to be tough to counter them. I mean, he's getting babysit pretty hard.
Absolutely. Yuta could have been taken down probably, but again, we know that Kagura has that inbuilt purify, leaving the umbrella behind and moving out of the harm's way. That's been happening quite a lot of times, but it's just as you mentioned in the starting, Kagura needs to prioritize to take this Brody down. Kagura needs that opening, but how will Yuta get that is going to be the question, because there's just some extremely solid front line. You always see Pani in front of you, Void is right there, and whenever you find an opening, you see a Void with the Cult Altar. You have absolutely no way to reach the Brody. So Tarun is basically just free hitting in that backline, and no one is there to close that gap. They need Addy Boy to go in for that flank, take him down from behind. But for now, he seems to be the one getting pinched from two different directions. As Tesla falls down off camera, but that's going to be so long. Deleted in one instant. It ended before it even started.
That's true. The turret is gone as well. They do manage to pick up that kill on the Terizla though, but is it going to be worth it? Look at the damage of that Faramis. I mean, he's just melting that glue. I mean, just so fast. I mean, that's the thing, right? Faramis wasn't the opponent. I'm not very sure why they picked up the glue. They had a lot of options. I mean, they could have gone for many different types of tanks, but they went for this glue. I'm not sure why. Now, the problem is Zilong, though. He's not able to push even a single turret. I mean, Teresa is always there. He has good map awareness. He's not going to be letting Zilong, run around freely. And now he's poking him down the top lane. And it looks like a kill to Teresa there. Yep, that, what is that called?
That's basically his skill one, where he gets that first over time. So apparently that was what got better of him, but that's the unstoppable Red Rain. Clint not being able to do anything. Addyboy going 0-4. They've basically shut down all the win conditions for RYZEN. Team Cry doing absolutely brilliant in this entire situation. I would like to look at the items, because it does seem to me that they're probably ahead by at least one full item, and that is trouble. So if in case we've got a vision on the item list, I can see that Void picked up the Athena shield, so even Yuta is not going to chunk him down at all. We're going to see Glue for now stuck in a very awkward position. Cult Altar was already used up. Samon will probably be caught in. Penalty zone did not connect on anyone, but in the backline, we'll probably see decimation coming in. For now, Samon is the one who's decimated. Yuta seems to be in trouble. Next one in line to fall. Tries to run out of the harm's way, but the Roundabout Memory has got all the range that Brody needs. They will still fall for more. They want to take all of them down one after the other, but at the end of the day, Clint is going to survive. It is just Clint and Addyboy remaining in their own tower, caged inside, like a pet bird not being allowed to fly.
Yeah, that's kind of sad though. I think the side of Team RYZEN are definitely crying right now. They are not doing good, right? They don't have the damage enough to sustain. And especially, I've noticed the ults coming in from Florine as well as Faramis. They are not together. They time it perfectly well, right? Either Faramus is using his ult at one point, or Florin is there to heal up her team, and it's working really good for their side. I really wish that they had, picked up the Valentina again and again. That's what I really hope they did. So Zilong, though, trying to go against this Terizla, he's doing massive amounts of damage. He might just caught out. Her glue is on to him, but he's just way too far now.
Indeed, and again, Simon is going to be taken down as quickly. Now, this has been happening for so long. Simon has been picked off every single time. And that is trouble for them because he's the only one who basically would be able to go in for that engage. You have the Martis, but he needs someone to create that. If he tries to do so, he's not very tanky in order to sustain all of that damage, the burst that would be coming in from Faramis as well as from Brody. So I have absolutely no idea how they would be able to pull it off unless Team Cry are the one to throw it all away to probably give them more picks. It is difficult for them. It is very difficult for them to work in this situation. And it seems that Team Cry has basically got this game one in their bag. What do you think, James?
Yeah, I think this is match to the side of Team Cry. They're going to be chunking down that base. Zilong does try to go in though, and now it's Clint's turn. That is a clean wipeout, and that's the first match to the side of Team Cry. The minions aren't there though. They are losing a bit of HP, but they're going to be able to clear them out and end the game. First match to the side of Team Cry, right? Amazing. Coordination coming in from both their sides. They had a good team comp. They won their draft pick, and in the end of the day, they were pushing down those turrets back to back. They just ended the game clean and smooth. Like 11 minutes in, they did extremely well. Definitely the Faramis as well as the Florine really hurt the side of Team RYZEN. They were not able to counter them whatsoever. I sort of wish they had a different tank, maybe even a different hyper. But it's too late now, and I definitely hope that they choose not to pick the Zilong, at least in the next match, right? It's going to be win or loss. If they want to be going into those semifinals, they better change up their draft and change even their rotations in the early game, because otherwise they might just lose the tournament.
It is highly possible. And again, that was a very well coordinated match being played in from the side of Team Cry. 10.8 Brody on the snowball. You always know that's going to work out. If in case the Brody is not shut down in the early game, he will definitely end up snowballing. Tarun with the Blade of Hypnosis, the Lithic Roar, Blade of Despair. While Panye also going in for its solid items, leaning towards that defense first, did make the Fury Hammer to get some extra penetration in along with the dominant size to make sure that there's no healing coming in from Samon. And as much as Samon tried, he was not able to tank any of that damage. And Zilong and Martis, both of them, were just shut entirely down. And at the end of the day, a very solid game coming in from Cry. They're basically making their mark. And now are just one step away in that semifinals. Let's see if they'll be able to reach that point, or will it be a comeback coming in from the side of RYZEN that they've shown multiple times. We'll catch you guys in the game number 2. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here
first. But here something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I remember the ocean, memories die out too hard. But we were traveling the mountains just to find the loudest seas. We set down by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on.
After the long-awaited break, we are back again, boys. This is going to be fourth quarterfinals, game number 2, match 2 of the evening, and it is between Team Jinx taking on Team RYZEN. And again, it's not Team Jinx actually; it is Team Cry. But again, Jinx always cries, so it's one and the same thing. I use them synonymously. But either way, jokes apart, that was a pretty lame one. Either ways, that's both of these teams jumping in their do or die situation as RYZEN's long push strategy did not work out at all. So they have to find something new in order to force a game number 3. Otherwise, Team Cry will definitely make them cry and go back home. What are your opinions and intakes on this, Jinx?
I mean, first of all, I only cry when you're mean to me. Like right now, like I might just like cry the whole stream. I hope not, though. That's gonna be embarrassing. Now, this might just be the last match of this, quarterfinals credit. I mean, Team Cry has a good momentum, right? What we usually see, like if you lose the first match very badly, if you're like way behind on farm, if it's not a quite a like a bit of an even setup coming in, you're going to lose that momentum, right? You're going to feel like you're not good enough. I hope that does not happen to the side of Team RYZEN. I hope they're able to, get back on their feet and do their best this time around. We can go to the draft pick. I don't want to keep them waiting. I'm sure they're eager. I'm sure that they might be a bit nervous. But we just have to wait and see. And I definitely hope, like we saw in the last match, I hope they ban on the Faramis or even the Florine, right? You don't want them to be dealing with that again because they don't seem comfortable with that Valentina pick. So I hope they ban out like those heroes they had trouble with.
Absolutely. Even I'm expecting them to adjust some things in that banning phase because it's just as you mentioned, Team Cry won out that draft entirely, and I can see that they're very restless about this game number 2 as well. Seems they will try to end this in a 2-0 fashion because Taron has to make some food for his Pookie. It's probably his dog. But again, all fun is going to be left out after we jump in that draft, since it will be a do or die. It's right now or never. It's the Battleknights tournament, boys, and we are in the potentially last quarterfinals for this season. A Team Cry will be the ones banning out the first hero, and I think so that they can probably try and take away the Alice, but they first ban out the Eve. So sticking to the bans they had in the previous game.
Yeah, I think Eve good, hero, especially for the lineup that we see from them. They go for that front lane fighters and then that back lane, not really going for those assassins. So that means Eve is going to have, they're going to have problems with this Eve. She's going to be like stopping you in the stacks, and the slows are going to hurt them. So that was a good ban coming in. And now I definitely want to see a Faramis or the Florine ban coming in from the side of Team RYZEN here. We just have to wait and see. I hope they're listening to me. I mean, I hope they figure out what went wrong in the first match, and now they can change it up. They are taking their time with the draft, but they're going to be banning out the Xpog here. It was a good ban overall, but I mean, after seeing the last match, I was sort of hoping that they, decide to ban something else.
probably gives us an idea that they might still want to lean in towards some tanky jungle, maybe pick the Martis yet again, because we know Xbox poses a lot of problem for that Martis. But even after that, I think so Fredrin can also be taken down because he had annoyed them a lot in the previous game, but it's going to be your favorite pick. Florin taken away. So no more universal heal coming in. So the adjustment is there. But I want to see what their picks are going to go. Are they still going to secure that Zilong as well as the glue? Or are they going to change some things around? That's the glue banned away. Even though they punish the glue a lot of times, Team Cry showing the respect, taking it out. But that leaves room open for so many picks. There's Allard, there's Ling, there's Helkut, there's Alice, Valir. There's so many heroes up for grabs.
That is true. I mean, the Alice is there. Looks like they're not going to be going out for that Faramis ban. They're going to be banning out the Fredrin. Now, one more thing I noticed, kid, that all the quarterfinals we've had so far, they ended in two matches, right? There was one side that was always dominating, and I sort of hope that we don't see it this time around. I hope the tide of Team RYZEN, comes back. They give us a good match this time, and then we go into that third match. This match just might be the last time to do it. Now we're going to go and see the Gushin first pick coming in from the side of Team Cry. Not something that we usually see. I completely forgot with the Kadita. I mean, no one has banned her out. She's an amazing mage, right? She's always in that backline, diving in, getting those petrifies in, and just knocking out your backlane. It's going to hurt them this time, but at least they don't have to worry about the Faramis.
That is true, but you may never know, right? Paramus can also be flexed in that roam position. So who knows? Team Cry probably have that strategy in their back pockets. Might want to pull it out in this current scenario where it's do or die for RYZEN. But since, as you mentioned, Karita has been first picked, there are still so many heroes that they can answer it back with. Probably an Alice, maybe even a Ling, where you know that neither of them would be caught by the Kadita's rough waves. You would have a lot of leeway to work around and a lot of options to go with. So it can be a pretty good option, but nonetheless, they are going to secure the same Zilong coming in. And since their glue was banned out, it seems that they want to lean towards the Garo Kacha.
Yeah, I mean, Zilong first pick, is it going to be worth it? We have to wait and see. It worked out for them, before the quarterfinals. But in the quarterfinals, you probably want to be changing it up. Maybe they picked them up because they were afraid the side of Team Cry is going to ban him out. I'm not exactly sure. I would have probably gone for some other, heroes. Maybe even a healer, because with a Kadita, a healer is really useful, right? I haven't seen the Estes in this tournament, but he might actually be good as long as he takes a Purify. But they're going to be going for that gut out. I hope he's able to land those ultimates right on point. Otherwise, it's going to be tough for him. I mean, the Grok is there, the Kadita, as well as the Brody, right? Not those three heroes. It's going to be tough to catch them in that ultimate of his. But I hope he's able to do it. Now, last pick from the side of Team RYZEN, I'm not sure what they're going to be going for. I'm sort of hoping for a mage pick. I mean, it would be good because the side of Martis, I don't know. Is he viable? Wish they go for assassin. I mean, you need someone to be diving into that back lane.
That is true, but it seems that they've been loving the comfort picks a lot more and they secure the Kimmy. That seems rough, to be honest. More like a move of desperation. There's a Kadita in your opponent. There's also a Brody who would be able to catch you up. Do not forget the Grok with the wild charge and his balls. You also have a Flicker to deal with. I don't think so. Kimmy was a good option in this. They would have had a lot more room if they could have picked up a Beatrix, maybe a Claude.
Even the Leslie, right? I mean, Leslie would have been good. She is an amazing marksman right now. Okay, maybe. I don't know. Hanabi is good. I have started to be the side of. I mean, Kimmy though. I hope she picks up the Purify. Otherwise, she's going to have a bad time. But Kimmy against the Brody. I mean, by the time she melts him down, he's going to be like two-shotting you. It's going to be tough. I hope she makes some defense in the starting. she can, sort of avoid Brody just a little bit. But now one more thing though, since Kimmy might just go into the gold lane, Grok just has to make like two magic defense items, and then Kimmy is not going to be dealing much damage, right? Early to mid game, she's going to have a very tough time. I hope they plan this out properly. Their draft does seem to be lacking. They're going to be banning out that Valentina though from the side of Team Cry. I have seen a couple of, Faramis EXPs. Like, if they pick it up, then I think the side of Team Cry just might have an easy match.
Possible. That's a very strong possibility. But nonetheless, very well framed that Kimi is going to have an extremely hard time in that early and mid game. And Valentina, since it's been banned out, no more stealing away of the rough waves or even the wild charge. And Basha seems to be the go-to option for Team RYZEN. Now, I am surprised onto even that ban, because where would a Basha go? Into the jungle? I think so. There are a lot more options that they could work with. They probably banned a Basha out just so Team Cry would not pick even more counters to the Kimi than they already have.
Or, maybe
That
they
could
want the
probably
Alice.
be thought. Highly possible. They could pick up the Alice as well, but where would an Alice go? Mid lane?
Mid lane Alice is pretty okay.
Your team is picking.
3,000
Wouldn't they have a lot of magic damage in this case? Because even the Gato deals the magic, Kimi magic. You pick up the Alice, that's also a lot of magic damage. Zilong would be majorly pushing towers, not present in the team fights. All that's left is their jungler, which they would be forced to pick as a physical damage dealer. And looking the way RYZEN has been drafting and the past drafting patterns, I don't think so that they go in for any assassin type of junglers.
I know, right? I think we're going to probably see. Okay, Martis has been banned out. Now we have to wait and see what the side of Team RYZEN do pick up. There are a lot of heroes, but they're going to be picking up the Valor. Valor might just be good right now. I mean, he has a good chance of pushing away the Kadita if he times his second skill right. But he's going to have a hard time if the side of Team Cry pick up this Lancelot. I mean, no one's really going to be protecting him. There's only so much a Gatot can do. He's going to have to provide a lot of front lane right now, because that Zilong, like you was talking about, right, not going to be in those team fights. He's going to be probably pushing down those lanes. It's going to hurt them quite a bit. I sort of hope the side of Team Cry pick up the assassin. It might help them. Reach into the back line, finish the game up early. Otherwise, Valor, I hope he goes semi-tank. Otherwise, it's going to be tough for him. I mean, the Kadita as well as the Brody, they're going to be jumping onto you. It's going to be hard to sustain that damage. They are going for the Lancelot, and then we're going to finish off the side of Team Cry with that Lapu Lapu. Well-rounded draft coming in from their side. Looks like they had other picks up their sleeves, and this, draft that they have going on, I think it's a pretty good draft. I mean, it's pretty well rounded. They have the front line, they have the back line, they have the damage, they have the assassin as well to be diving into those back lines of their opponents. They have a good draft. Now, Barad's from the side of Team RYZEN, we haven't seen much of him. I hope they pick up a fighter, to be very honest, because Gutout needs some help.
I'm just so very scared of the draft that RYZEN is coming in with this game with, because it kind of seems done and dusted. Who's gonna Vali? Vali is not being able to push anyone as a matter of fact. He cannot crowd control Karita when she's in skill 1. He cannot crowd control Grok when he's wild charging. He cannot push them back when Lapu Lapu would be in his bravest fighter's form. And Lancelot can just dodge everything with his dashes, with his Thorn Rose. And they've logged in the Yeast Shin. That's even more late game orientation.
They look the same.
No, wait, that's Roger. Jeez, that's Roger. All right. Yes. I can see I can see other skins. Yes, that's a Roger. That's definitely a Roger. But how is a Roger going to help out? You have the dive from the Roger, but who's going to open space for him? The EXP won't be able to do it. Ghatot, yes, he can definitely try, but we know that the Avatar of Guardian can be dodged very easily. So unless he's got some godly timing onto that, I think so. Roger is going to play as a bait in this game and let Zilong and Kimi do all the work, with Valir protecting Kimi every single time. I think so. That should be the go-to option in this game. But in terms of draft, Team Cry has basically won the draft, and we're gonna jump in the land of dawn with all of that, guys. As it's Team Cry with a potential 2-0 victory up against Team RYZEN, who are in a do-or-die situation for the race to semi-finals. Let's see who wins out in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of a bit skeptical about the side of team. Ryzen, I hope they are able to pull it off. I really hope for their sake they have a plan coming in. I hope they know what they're doing. And I definitely hope the Valor picks up some defense because, like you talked about, he has to protect the Kimi, right? But is he going to be able to when he himself is squishy? I hope he picks up some magic defense, maybe one or the other, physical defense, just to protect himself from that Lancelot as well as the Brody. Valor does well even with a tanky build, so it might work out in his favor. But we do have to wait and see though, because Alito has gone to the side of Team Cry here. They seem to have a faster rotation coming in, and this Roger. I mean, not really a hyper you have seen in this tournament. I haven't seen any other Lodgers being played. But if Valor does his, skills right, if he deals a bit of damage, I think Roger might be able to dive in and finish them off. We do have to wait and see how well they play. Zilong as well. I mean, I wish this time around he's able to push those lanes because last time he just could not move.
Indeed, and again, he needs to push the lanes, but I don't think so he'd be able to do that against a Lapu Lapu. But for now, we're going to see the trouble going in for Insane. He would be running out of the harm's way, though, but that's going to be Roger probably jumping in still. No one going in for those extreme initiation plays. Playing it safe, making sure that they are staying alive. And I really love the play coming in from Tarun, making sure that Kimi loses on a couple of minions while Panye just clears out the waves so deep, has given his own team a lot of room to work near the turtle. Avoid though, still not level 4, missed a couple of minions, will now finally reach it. And now is the Battle of Turtle, which seems to be in control by Team Cry. They can probably jump in. That's a bit by a rough wave. It's gonna rough Alira pretty badly as Lapu Lapu jumping in with the bravest warrior team, and Kane taken down. Lycan Pounds will not be able to save his life as Gatod falls the third in the stream. With the waters, Kimi is also going to join them in their rafting journey, which is basically resulting them in drowning. That's a lot of gold being taken down by Brody in that top side, and even the jungle stolen away. Almost stolen away, I guess.
That's true. I mean, okay, goal lead from the side of Team Cry coming in here, and Brody has chunked down the gold shield of that top lane inhibitor. Like we were talking about, I think the draft has really failed them this time around. I wish they had taken another tank, another marksman, another hyper even. Gato though trying his best to poke down this Kadita, but she does manage to escape. Like we were talking about, I mean, he's going to have a hard time catching anyone right now. Even the rotation is failing them, right? They have a bit of a passive rotation coming in, which is kind of fine because they don't have an early game team comp. Valor is there though, but he has to keep going back to his base again and again. He's getting poked out quite a bit.
Absolutely. And they have to find some kind of breakthrough, right? If in case they want to win this game, if in case they want to win this match. Otherwise, it's going to be just so very rough for them. It just seems so problematic. Avoid still trying to go in for some plays. Lycan Pounce is not there because the rough race was timed so very well. Avatar of Guardian dodged perfectly. Now that puts Raymond on such an awkward spot as Wall goes in. Wildcat connects on two as Lancelot joining in those fights. Raymond should be taking down, but look at the back line as it is being threatened by Vanier. And Lancelot leads them one after the other. Rogers tries to run away. Tarun does have the torn apart memory. Perfect timing. Gets them down and gets the fight perfectly in favor of his team. winning out on that trade, taking a ton of that goal. The Brody snowball is coming in perfectly, just like the previous game. And Boy can do nothing. Just try and take some of that gold as a Void now wants to jump in, petrified, rough waves. He dodges them a little bit by the jumping, running form. But Pane will be able to take him down and seal the deal.
I mean, they're having a tough match, right? I was kind of hoping they're able to bounce back in their feet. That first game loss must have hurt them quite a bit because they are losing quite heavily, worse than the first game, right? 8-0 with almost like a 5k goal lead for the side of Team Cry. It's getting tough. Also, Grog, though, amazing ultimates coming in. I think in the last team fight, he had like a 4-man ult right on the squishies in the backline, and that really helped his team, capitalize on that. They were already low, and then Brody just came in and finished them off. So I think they have a good rotation coming in as well and good communication. They are doing pretty well right now. I think definitely the win condition is this Valor. He needs to be playing good. He is poking down this Kadita, though. Amazing ultimate by Gatot here.
Absolutely. Finally, something out of the nothing, and the Lycanthrounds takes Grog down. Void will just avoid every single thing as Fanny, and now wants to jump in, goes in for the bravest fight, he takes the lead down, wants to go in for more as the Phantom Execution comes in along with the Thorn Rose and dashes as they manage to take both of them. Void, do you have any more dash remaining in your arsenal? Can Samon be taken down? No is the answer, but mid definitely is the perfect target as still Adboy tries to find something and is not able to, but will be able to somehow redeem his team by taking down the tier 1. Yeah, finally, it goes down with that last shot of cannon minion, but it seems that Adboy is going to follow the trails of that turret as that's the wrong direction. No way you're going to survive that. Stunned up, finished off, deleted. As the Long is punished yet again. Samon wants to carry on this fight even more. Avoid will be just jumping out of the harm's way avatar of Guardian, comes in, everything dodged perfectly, and this is the best time for them to take the turtle. They've got control of every single lane.
True, I think they're listening to you. Lancelot, though, is going to be taking down that turtle. I think that's like this third turtle of this match. Lord is going to be coming up soon. If I was them, I probably would have waited for the Lord and ended the game quite quickly because they have that gold advantage. They definitely are winning those team fights. They're getting those turrets back to back. Look at that. Bottom lane gets chunked down. Minions are not there, though, so Body just has to wait just a little bit to chunk it down. Lancelot, though, going in, does not catch anyone. That was a good disengage coming in from him. They are like really struggling, right? I mean, the tier 2 is barely standing. Those lanes are getting pushed down. They don't seem to be having those team fights, logged in. Gatot is missing all his ultimates, and he's the only one on the side who can actually engage for them.
Exactly. That was the issue that we stated during the draft as well. There's no one to engage those team fights. So Roger would not be able to utilize that Lycanthrounds at all because you need someone to create that room. But again, for now, Pane seems to be taking a lot of damage. Ow! Oh! No way! That was such a beautiful play coming in from a Void. While in the back line, Pane gets deleted. Lycanthrounds coming in at clutch, and that's going to be a 2-man wild charge. Stuns both of them. Same on low in HP. Demon Kane still trying to find more of that. But what a beautiful flicker coming in from Brody, dodging everything as White finishes things up, wraps everything. And now they've got control of the top as well as the mid and the entire jungle of Demon Kane. He cannot farm at all, and you need to snowball on a Roger. And that's the last thing that's going to happen in this game.
That's true. I mean, the snowball potential is quite at a 0%. I mean, Lord is going to be coming up in almost like 10 seconds. I think they're going to have a tough time probably even clearing out the Lord because they're losing those team fights back to back. If Kadita engages right on time, if Brock is able to land an good ultimate during this Lord, I think it just might be GG for the side of Team RYZEN. Brock here, though, gets chunked down quite a bit. Valor as well. Other thing though, Brody 402, he already has 2 items and he's dealing quite a bit of damage, and he's able to dodge almost everyone. Karita does go in, but Kimi is able to escape out of that.
Indeed, but for how long? As that's going to be the avatar of Guardian used, and in just the similar speed, Roger and both Gatot are deleted. They do not have the damage at all. Youth are extremely awkward position. I don't think so they even need their ultimates to finish him off. They're just going to basic attack, bully him till his inhibitor and take him down. As the Lord is now going to march down from the mid, they also know that Zilong will be pushing one of these opposite lanes, opposite extremities. Brody taking care of bottom. Lafu going towards the top side. Does he actually find Zilong? No, he does not. So Zilong will be able to freely recall back. Now, even the Kimi is not working out for them. I want to look at the items and see the build that they have. As Yuta now secures the Ice Queen wand, he already has the glowing wand. So both Kimi and Waleed would be able to just deal that burning and slow. But who's going to finish things up? Roger has the Hunter Strike. He also has the Wind Talker. But he's missing the Endless Battle as well as the Malefic Roar. So I don't think so he's going to chunk that front line at all. And we already know how well placed ultimates and the petrifies are coming in from a void. They're not being able to avoid him at all. And all right, I promise that this is the last avoid pun that I'm making.
It better be good. Like, are you gonna make one now or like later?
No. That was the last one. I'm not making any more avoid puns at all.
Okay, you
Probably.
better avoid it. Sorry. I mean, okay. Never mind.
You're learning from me, so it's understandable. But for now, Adibor needs to learn that he cannot push these lanes at all, as he'll be welcomed in the bush with the rough waves, only to be sent back to the recall time. Jeez, that was pretty rough.
I mean, just like my pun, he is not having a good day. Zilong just can't catch a break. I mean, no matter where he goes, he's always getting countered. He cannot push at all. I mean, there's either a Lancelot, there's either the Lapu Lapu. They're not letting him do much. Those recall taunts are coming in. Looks like the side of Team Cry is pretty confident in winning this match. And honestly, looking at their domination, I think they just might do it. I'm sort of hoping for a comeback. I hope Gatot is able to land one good ultimate. I hope Valor is able to do something. He does not have any defense, and no wonder. That's why he's getting melted down back to back. And Kimi as well, like you were saying, right, not working out. I wish that they can. Even the Hanabi might have done well, right? You need some CC. And Gatot is not doing it for their team. They are trying their best to clear out those lanes. Zilong is trying to push down. But the thing is about the Zilong, right? If you're going to be pushing those lanes, you better be ready for that 1v1 team. 1v1 fight that you might encounter, but I don't think he's going to be able to go up against that Lapu. Lapu is just way too big right now. He's too fed. He's dealing way too much damage, and it's getting tough for them. Lord is up. It gets chunked down quite easily by Brody as well as Lancelot, and looks like they're ready to engage in those team fights. I would not recommend. I mean, I think you can just end this game with that Lord. It just might be GG for their side. It is an enhanced Lord as well, so it's going to hurt those inhibitors.
Agreed. And oh my god, why am I getting a deja vu, Zilong? Please do not go in that bottom lane. Adiboy, no, please no. Alright. Thanks to Brody, he actually stopped in his tracks. Otherwise, that could have been another pick off by the hands of Kadita. We're gonna see him alive for a few more seconds. Maybe. Oh, wait. That could be a bait. That could be a perfect bait. He gets the spear flip. They will be able to delete Brody. And the Avatar of Guardian lands at a perfect time to stop the rough waves, but only for so long, as that is going to be Adiboy deleted yet again. And same on just stuck between both of those walls. He'll be able to dash out the harm's way, as the Lord now will chunk down the mid inhibitor, as it will be taken down by just those minions. And in the meantime, Team Cry will work on towards that bottom side. No, Brody, we don't care. We will be chunking those inhibitors as the fight still goes on. They do not stop. Samon will be retreating back to safety. And Lancelot, Phantom executioning out of the harm's way. But still, the minions in the mid are going in. Kimi and Zilong, they've both been taken down already. So let's wave clear, but they'll be back in action. They are back in action. And it seems that they still have some breathing room left, as Demon King now secures the Dragon Spear. Not quite sure how well that actually works on the Roger.
That's true. I mean, I think Zilong definitely held on to this game for his team. I mean, that gang was extremely good. He managed to get the Brody. That's someone you want to be locking down, and it seems that he has enough damage to, be able to finish that Brody off. As long as Brody does not have the wind of nature, I think Zilong knows his target as of now. He is trying to sort of, get some leg room, try to definitely not there, Zilong. Okay, he is gonna get melted by this Kadita. I mean, I feel like he's having a bad time. No matter where he goes, it's just not working out for him.
Everywhere I go, I see her face. I see her
Yeah.
wave.
Yeah, he is just
That
seeing
is pretty. That is
everyone
pretty
in the
bad
bush.
for the long day. All right, all right. But again, coming back to the same seriousness regarding this match, they are not having a good time. 22-6 is the score difference. Even the goal lead is just snowballing out of control, somewhere around 12,000 in favor of Team Cry. They've got every other inhibitor except for that top one. They have full map control. Entire map is basically blue at this point, and they've got control of all the bushes. They've got control of all the creeps. So they're the ones who are basically, tying the strings onto the members of the side of RYZEN. But maybe that could be an overextension, overengage coming in. Span is still would be able to get his bravery bar up. Insane. I'm glad that he did not push this issue even more forward. Otherwise, who knows what could have happened to him? As we always know that Lapu Lapu is just one of the gods whenever you talk about re-engages, and the Lord will be chunked down pretty quickly. And I think so. This Lord is probably it.
Everywhere I go, I see your face.
I see her face. That's the fifth time he's been picked off like that.
I'm sort of.
Raging. He'd be raging.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to compose myself here. This is
Take your time. Take your time. As for now, we know that the Lord's gonna march down towards that mid side. And again, everyone just recall spamming. Kimmy trying to go in with that ultimates, trying to get some chip damage onto them. And now, okay, they've got a pretty solid amount of damage as the Avatar Guardian is gonna connect onto Brody. His immortality will be popped up as Lapu Lapu now tries to jump into that backline. As Demon Kane will be able to take one of them, but the crystal is being chunked down to so low and will be taken away as the game has been won by the side of Team Cry. And I'm pretty sure Zilong would be crying after seeing how many times Karida has picked him off. We were thinking that things would happen in a different way. But Adi boy, I just feel bad for him. He had 100% tower push, but that's just 2,000 damage. Only one turret taken down. So the Zilong push strategy has reached its limit. And Cry is the one who will be soaring high in the sky.
That's true. I mean, the draft was definitely lost by the side of Team RYZEN. They lost the first round of the draft. They lost this one as well. I wish they had, gone a bit out of their comfort zone, picked up a few heroes which might be in the meta, maybe a Mino or a Kufra. I feel they would have been really helpful for their side. But overall, those are the few heroes on there, so that you don't actually see much being played. Sadly, that Zilong split push did not work out for them, and looks like the side of Team Cry, they were prepared. They knew that this is something that the side of Team RYZEN liked to do, and they were always there. Like we were talking about, he was always getting picked off by this Kadita or the Lapu or the Lance. He had a tough time this time around. Um, I just wish they changed up the draft. They might have a chance. They did have good defense. I mean, two lords and the side of Team Cry could not do it. They needed a third lord to end the match. And I thought like Brody's going to get MVP, but looks like it's this Grog. He was always in the team fights, always landing those ultimates, providing that peeling for his team. I think he did a good match, and this is like the end of the side of Team RYZEN, and the side of Team Cry is going to be going into those semi-finals. So we're going to be seeing amazing matches coming from them. I mean, in the future, and if they're crying today, they're probably crying some happy tears, right? But I'm going to avoid crying because my team won.
Indeed. Again, you'd probably be just having fun with all of them, but nonetheless, it was a pretty solid competition between both of these teams. And reaching to a quarterfinal stage with this long push strategy, making it work so many times, definitely a very good feat to achieve. But yes, they would need to learn that they need adaptations when they do moving forward in those quarterfinals, in those semifinals, maybe the finals in the future. So that's something that they would definitely learn from and would 100% improve their hero pool. And we definitely want to see Team Rise in the next tournament as well. Congratulations to Team Cry. Good luck to Team Ryzen for the future. And that's going to be it, guys, for these quarterfinal matches and for the evening. This has been your caster, Skadiet, alongside me with Jinx. And it was a pleasure casting with you and even Jenny as well. It has been such a fun journey. I would not be seeing you guys in the semis, but you will be joined by Kronos, by Coach Deku, Rem, Soul Sky, Jinx, Jenny. Everyone would be there, including Linville and Zoe. So make sure to have a lot of fun, guys, and catch us on the days of semi-finals as well as finals. We'll see you guys then. Have a great evening and good night.
I want to say thank you, thank you.
Memories die out too hard. But we were traveling the mountains just to find the loudest tease. We set down by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club. I remember the ocean, memories die out too hard. But we were traveling the mountains just to find the loudest tease. We sat down by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy